Flying back around again.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Shuffle podcast. We are here with Boomboxx, the man himself. How are you, man?
Good, and you, bro? I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
I'm also excited to
I'm glad.
having you here. I think it's great. Finally, we could do it.
Finally.
We're planning on doing this
After a lot
this
of
podcast.
messaging,
Yeah, we had to
back and
cancel one
forth.
time, but right now we're here. We're ready to have a huge, interesting talk. So, let's kick this off with a little bit about you because maybe there's someone, if you don't know this man, you should listen to this because this is the man. He's been
Hey,
shuffling for a long time. So, introduce you a little bit. Who are you? When did you start shuffling and why are you in this movement?
what's up, y'all? This is Boomboxx from Los Angeles. I am definitely a grandpa shuffler. It hurts when I shuffle now. I've been doing it for like 11 years now. And yeah, basically, I started off, actually, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I started my own crew called Brightside after the popular song by The Killers. Very cheesy, but I was like very pure and innocent back then, especially. Brightside Shufflers. But later on, took over a different crew. My homie Soda Pop got in this crew called MT, but then their leaders left. And so then he made me his right hand man. And so that's kind of like what I'm known for, like in the OG scene. This crew called MT. Yeah, Motion This. And those are the early days. Going towards like the middle, I started throwing my own shuffle sessions at the Mariachi Plaza, just different places, Hollenbeck Park. From there, that's when, so like, it's so much to talk about, right? But, right, shuffling, it's like an all-time high and then it goes down low, gets trendy again, and then it's not trendy anymore. So when things started picking back up, I was lucky enough to get into Star 67. Crazy experience. I had to battle like everybody in the crew to get that spot. And yeah, that stays in my memory forever. I had to do it twice, actually. I left the crew. I left the crew, and then I came back.
And they said, okay, let's do the test again.
Yeah, no, legit. Like that's the ritual. That's the
Yeah.
initiation. It was like, you want this? Like, okay, like prove it, right? I was like, shit. All the top freaking shufflers in the scene, are in one crew, and it's like, fuck. But yeah, I just kept doing my own sessions. I ended up being a part of another crew called S5 Stereo Savages, and yeah, they were fam as fuck. And after that, basically, I just did my own thing. I stopped doing sessions. I think I started DJing more. Yeah, this was like 2017. I started DJing more. I did like little gigs here and there, like in Hollywood. This club called Avalon. This other club called the Union. So I was starting to do like a solo career. I did like 2 classes, like in studio for shuffling. One in downtown LA, one in San Francisco. Yeah, I at EDC, what was it? Well, first of all, the EDC auditions out here, luckily enough, I was able to pass the auditions as a shuffler and, become a fuzzy character performer, right? I had like a bunny suit. I was in EDC walking around shuffling like a big fat bear, just shuffling. It's like
It looks
shuffling
hot.
has done. Shuffling has done so much for me, and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah, I could honestly go on and on.
Okay, so let's save some livings for the
Yeah.
next topics because now we're going to talk a lot of things through. So first of all, you mentioned the cruise, Star 67, the S5, the Bright Light, was it? The one
Oh, bright
you
side.
Bright Side. So, uh, like, I didn't leave any crew when I was dancing. Like, this is my 7th year, and in
Okay.
Spain there hasn't been crews, at least when I was dancing, when I started until now. So how was this scene having the crews? Because was it like there was some rivalry, like were people sharing, or how was the scene? Because I don't know anything about like the crew lifestyle in shuffling.
The crew lifestyle. Oh yeah, man. Honestly, yeah, I'm glad we're talking about it. I want it to come back. I want there to be more crews. So yeah, just basically think of it as like this. Typically, people have like a best friend, maybe one or two, or just somebody that they always see, and so that's how it would be like for everybody. Whether it be even your own family members. Like there was like family members shuffling together, cousins and cousins, like J Boy and A Rod from KFM's. Um, you feel me? So it's like you start off with a small circle, just people that you always like hang out with, you go to the movies with, and then you're just like, hey, you want to shuffle? And then that's something that you do like every weekend. And back then, it was all about YouTube. So basically, the only way that you would really like communicate with other crews was through searching shuffle videos. Not only that, we were lucky enough. We had like all ages clubs out here. One called Electrotistic is probably like the most popular one. Got like basically like 300 shufflers in one freaking club.
Ooh,
Crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. No, no. Every Friday, every Friday. This is and there was a lifestyle. Every Friday, you would show up with your boys, with your girls, with your clique, and you would just show up. And sometimes it would get nasty, battling for stupid reasons, or but sometimes it would be like really cool. You get to know. Oh shit, there's oh dummy KBC. Like I just found him on YouTube, and now he's right there in front of me. It's like it was a whole different type of social media to like game.
Which
And
which year was that?
yeah, this was all like 2000, like starting around 2011,
Hmm. So a
2011
long time.
to
Oh, so you were really new into shuffling back then.
yeah, like a few years in, that was like my third year. Um, but I've always been like a computer geek, like always on the internet, like searching as many videos as I can. So I knew everybody without knowing them. That's how it was back then. With Instagram, you can kind of like I can hit you up, I can send you a comment. With YouTube days, it wasn't like that.
No.
You didn't have that obligation to be like, oh hey, thanks for watching my video. Oh hey, I'm glad you liked it. Like no, you just post a video and then just see what happens. So yeah, so basically, yeah, in real life, it would get clicky. You would see other people and you'd be like, you would think of them as your rivals because maybe you guys are at the same experience level, but you would just be like looking
And
at each other.
and were the crews keeping the information they were discovering? For example, imagine that I'm in one crew and you're in another, and I discover something. It's like a value of the crew, like something that you can tell information about new steps or new concepts to people from other crews. Was it
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. It was sort of like territorial like that too, for sure. Um, we have this thing in Cali. You know, you do this,
Yeah, it's
right?
like copying.
That's a sign that you're biting. Yeah. So it was very. It was like half and half because honestly, like one crew would make a move like trendy,
Hmm.
and then everybody that month would would be doing that move all the time.
Yeah,
You know, it's
and
like
when you
every
see them
crew.
do this move, you have this.
Yeah, but it's like some people are okay with it. Some people are like, dude, what the heck?
Hmm.
Come up with your own material, right? Like I used to have that mindset. I'm not gonna lie. Like one of my videos, like the title is like "Dare you to bite." I dare you to bite. It was like a whole crew video. I was like, I dare you to bite my crew's moves. But yeah, that's in the past. We're growing up now. Yeah,
Well,
dude, it's very different back then to like right now. Right now, it's more loving and like harmonious. In behind the scenes is where it's like nasty. It's like it's not nasty in public. It's just a lot of like behind the scenes talk.
yeah.
But back then, it was just like we let everybody know who we had beef with, and it was okay. It was just like
Hmm.
whatever.
I don't know. It just, well, I imagine back in the days, because the dance style wasn't that much developed. People like you would see when someone was doing something really different. It was really easy
Mm,
to see when someone was copying or taking the idea.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
understand that back in the days, because the dance was more limited, like people would be very would take it very personal when they create something and then see people copying it and say, man, maybe I've been 3 months trying to do that, and now a lot of people is doing it, and because other people don't know, maybe they think is their step when it's yours. So I understand that back in the days, this could be a little bit, I don't know, molest to the people who was creating the moves. But I always have like the mindset that if you have created something and someone's is copying like the movement, these people doesn't know how to do this step. Like they don't understand the step, because you've created it or you come up with the step and you understand the process of getting to this point. The other people just know how to execute it. Like
Yeah.
they can do it another way. Maybe you can, I know, recreate it and do some variations or put it in the context that you want, but maybe the other people can't because they just learned like the mechanics. So I think that if someone copies your step, you're going to do better than them. Like if you have
Yeah.
really created, so
Yeah.
I think it's
There's
just
no
that.
room for insecurity. No room for insecurity. Like if you did a move and then somebody copies you, no insecurity because you're like, yeah, like I own that.
And
And then
also,
if somebody copies you and like they can do it, then maybe it wasn't that great of a move. You feel me? Like do a crazier move. Do a more technical move and then like nobody's gonna copy you.
yeah, or it will be very difficult to copy.
Yeah.
I always say, I heard that from a mentor, that if you get copied, this means that you're doing well.
Yeah.
If nobody copies you, maybe you're not doing things good or not good, but you're not taking and drawing a lot of attention to the things you're doing. But if someone is copying you, this is a good signal. So keep the work and don't complain. Just keep working and keep on the line. So people will always be copying, you know.
See, I have a problem with that because like I feel like I feel like I'm doing a lot of new things, but nobody's copying me. Like I want people to copy me, but like nobody's copying me right now. So like
Boomboxx,
I have to like make a class.
I'm going to tell you something. When I watch your videos, I'm like taking notes.
Hey, I'm so glad.
Because I at
I'm really
some point No, but at some point, there's a point that I see, because when you have a lot of information and a lot of understanding of shuffling, maybe you see a normal variation and it doesn't, wake up any feeling of, oh, nice. Like you understand that maybe for a beginner or someone who is intermediate in dancing, this is a crazy thing for them, and you appreciate, and you know that this also in your time it took you a lot of work. But right
Yeah,
now, like when you're working in complex things, you can't expect everyone to understand and see the complexity and say, oh, this man is doing really good, that's copy, because maybe they can't understand what they can copy. Or uh,
oh,
it's like taking the ideas. There's some point when you're using concepts and things that are more abstract, that you're building, you're creating, it's not that easy to understand what the other person is doing. Like this happens a lot in battles, or at least in Spain. I know we do a lot of videos, like with that are crazy good in, I know, in how are we building the round and whatever, and people is always screaming more to, if you do a trick or you do ground spin or whatever, that maybe you did something, some isolation move that is 5 times more difficult, and people is just noticing about the crazy move.
yeah, dude. It's like you're making a lot of sense, and it's like it's a relief to hear, because it goes back to dance being a sort of language, right? Like you can talk Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish. I'm gonna understand some things, but I won't understand the high level vocabulary, and like, so that's like the same thing that I want to get people to understand, get myself to understand too, is that like right now I'm just coming up with some crazy high vocabulary words and stuff that only, yeah, I'm only gonna get respect from, say, maybe like experienced people, or not even experienced, just like there's some like, you can be a beginner and you could be really analytical, you could like really dissect people's styles as a beginner. That's why I believe, like, judges don't have to always be top people, but yeah, I see that, man. I see how it's just language, bro. It's just language. It's just like when, how you're saying, like, when, okay, ground spin. Oh, you just forget about the whole set. Just ground spin. Hey. It's like, yeah, that
It's
it
like
kind of
making a party
splits into
about
two.
the ground spin.
Yeah, bro. It's like you can tell the difference between somebody that like knows their stuff, or it's just somebody that just, it's just here for the show. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting topic, and it's also very difficult to talk, because like people also have like very different points of view, and their creative process is different. So the way they create things is also very different. Maybe the ending point and the way we execute the things is pretty much the same, but the way we got there is pretty different. So I think
Mm.
that that's the beautiful thing about art, that it doesn't matter
Oh,
the process. Like everyone has his own process to get to this point. So but you're willing, like you're willing to work in yourself and not just copy moves, because copy moves is like, okay, here you have a like, a drawing, just copy the drawing, and then you copy the drawing, and yeah, it's the same. Okay, so it's art in some way, maybe, but it's not like you're not creating the art, you know like it doesn't
damn.
come within you. No, but this is it. Like if you take it to dance,
Yeah.
if you take it to dancing, it's the same way. Like you can take movements or a combo from another person or whatever you want, but at the end of the day, if you just do that, you're just copying. Like in art,
Yeah.
for creating new things, you have to copy, but you have to copy and then like take ideas and take things, because we're not we can't create anything. We see a lot of things, and it can be from dancing, it can be from like the normal life and another area of the life. And you can take an idea or a concept and then take it to dancing and say, okay, how can I do that? And but like you're taking something, let's say you're copying or taking an idea, and then you work on this idea. If you don't do this work, you just maybe just, if it's dance, you're just copying. It's good if you just do it for a specific moment, or if you just this specific move, you just want this specific move, okay. But if you just do this all times, it's not that I don't take you as a dancer. It's just you're limiting yourself really much. Like long term is going to be bad for you. It's not about if I like you or if I don't like you. It's just it's bad for the people who want to be long term dancers.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, bro. This topic, it just brings it back to like, for me, I'm thinking about like the whole like choreo classes versus like master class or like workshops, like that whole thing. And how, yeah, that whole thing, how like legit you can copy it, but do you even know how the lines formed, how like all the concepts fit together? Like that's why I started off doing the Zoom classes like with the workshop type of attitude. Like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do this, but I'm gonna teach you like how you can switch it up, the different parameters of this concept. You can make it your own concept. With the choreos, and it's nothing to bash on choreos. Like choreos are pretty fun, but yeah, you do kind of miss out with like choreo classes. You don't go like in depth.
I see.
Like why do I move this way? Why is this move this certain way? You know, yeah, you're just copying. Yeah.
I see choreographies, what as you just said, as something fun, as something to have fun and be with people and have this moment of, I don't know, just trying to learn these steps and pull them all together, and then and maybe then shoot a video. I don't know, like this is fun. It is not, I'm not like a choreography hater. I'm just aware that if you want to progress really much into a style and understand deeply this style, you can't just do choreos. You can do choreos, but you can't be willing just to do choreographies.
That part.
No, but I feel when you work on the freestyle, if you want to create a choreography, you can come up with choreographies that are 10 times much better. But because you have the ability to create something from a point of understanding about what you're really doing. And as you said, how can you get to this step? How can you dissect this other step to do it this way? Oh, okay, I'm here in this step, and what can I do next that allows me to spin? If you don't like these things, if you just learn like the moves by themselves, you're just putting one move after the other, and maybe you just go in another choreo, the same moves but different order, and it just limits yourself. So I encourage people to be willing to take freestyle classes, workshops, regular classes. At the beginning, I know it's difficult because it's like starting again in some way, because you're like the thinking that you need to do in these classes is pretty different. About in choreographies, you don't have to think really much, you just need to follow the movements. But when it comes to this, you end up learning a lot more. Maybe there's some weeks or months that you're like feeling that you're doing steps back, but when you understand the things in some months or some weeks, you go a lot of steps forward than what like the position you were when you started. And you couldn't get to this point if you had kept doing just the choreographies. So I think it's really important. It's not this is better or this is worse. It's just what is your goal in dancing? You want to create, you want to really understand the dance. You need to take the freestyle and the workshops. you just want to do choreos and just then go just to choreos. Like if
Yeah.
you, I see many people saying, I want to level up shuffle. I want to take shuffle to the next step. This is not made out of choreos. I'm sorry, but this is my honest opinion and what I see in other dance styles. Like it's not something just from shuffle. You know, hip hop dancers, like the people taking hip hop to a next level, it's not choreographers
Uh,
in the most way. If there's choreographers doing this, it's because they also freestyle.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
The way that I see it nowadays too, though, is that they honestly they both have like the same outcomes. Freestyling and choreography, they both are entertaining. They both are like performing. They both are like showtime. It's just more of like it's a different mode. Do you want to be like organized with your flow, or do you just want to find your flow in that moment? Right? It's just like
hmm.
I would say like find out like which type of dancer you are. Are you the more organized person? Like just you can come up. I mean, you learn combos and you can execute them really precisely. Or are you a freestyler where, like how you're saying, yeah, it's just you're just going with the flow. You're seeing like where like one thing takes you. Like you, it's just like which is for sure. I'll always like pro freestyler. I love freestyling because every time I dance, it's 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 different. It's a whole different experience. You get lost in it more. But again, with choreography, man, mad respect to be able to put like 10 different moves in just like 2 to 4 counts. It's a whole different skill to be able to organize or to be unorganized, right? Like free from order. Um, so I mean, I'm for both of them honestly. Like they're both dope. Freestyling forever, but I'm finding a lot of respect for people that do choreography. Like
Yeah.
they really do. It's the same thing. Like a freestyler hits every sounds, a choreographer hits every sounds too. It's like they're honestly like on the same boat. They're just two different people, two different types of personalities. Find out which one you are for sure.
Yeah, in choreographies, there's this performance element that they need to work on really much. Then in freestyle, you just need to, as you said, find your flow, create in the moment, find what you want to hit, what moves you want to do in the moment. Like you don't think, you just whatever the dance
You just
takes
do.
you, then you
Yeah.
go there you go. But in choreographies, like people need to polish really much and clean their movements exactly and precisely because there's more people with them and they all need to look the same. So it demands different skills, but as
Yeah, it's hard.
always, it takes you to a different place. So in the musicality thing that you said, maybe they're like it's 10 times, well, 10 times, even more times more difficult to hit musicality when freestyling than in choreo, because in choreo you can say, okay, the sounds are here, so we're going to do this movement, pa pa pa. But in freestyle, you need to catch it in the moment. If you don't catch it in the
Yeah.
moment, you miss the musicality.
God damn. I'm like trying to figure out like which one's easier or like which one they're both like
I know it's depending.
they're both like
Okay.
there's pressure. Like there's hella pressure with both of them. The pressure in choreography, like it has to be right. It has to be on the dot, detailed, everything, timing and form.
I
The
think
pressure within freestyle is like you better come up with something dope or else we're gonna get bored. So it's like you have to get creative with freestyling.
yeah.
Oh man, pressure on both sides.
If we're talking about advanced dancers, I think it's more difficult to freestyle because like the things you can achieve while freestyling, you can't even imagine them because it's where it takes you, and you need to have like a lot of knowledge and a lot of
Well,
things in line to get to some points in choreography, you know, it's just practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. But in freestyle, it's like you need your mind to get super creative and in some points.
Yeah.
I think in the beginnings, it's easier to freestyle because you can learn 2 or 3 steps and then use them any way you want. So this is freestyle for a beginner. They're freestyling. They're in a very basic way. But this is how you start. You can't expect a beginner to like come up with something dope. You can teach them how to come up with these things, but it's easier for the people to freestyle and do the steps the way they want than choreography, because choreography is, you know, has a structure, it has some limits that you need to do this thing like this and then the other like this. And if you don't do this exactly, you know, easy choreographers, they also demand like a good level of coordination and speed and how do you emphasize the movements. But when you're freestyling, you can start freestyling easier because you just learn 2 or 3 steps and you can start freestyling.
So is it harder? Because like what you said right now though, like yeah, I concur. Like I think the opposite because of that point. It's like it takes it takes like a process to be able to freestyle, to be able to like tap into that flow state. But once you're there, once you can flow, it's almost like magic. It just happens. You're in the zone. The music guides you, directs you. So it's like it's actually not even like if you're dancing, like you're not doing any work because it's just like you're in that zone.
Yeah.
So is choreo harder? I just feel like it's harder to get to that level, but once you're there, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But with choreography, it's just
yeah, it's
thing, but it's not.
The eternal debate in dancing, freestyle or choreography.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stop about this eternal debate. Let's stop. Let's come back to the other topics.
I want to figure it out.
One day we will. One day we will. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the shuffle styles. Okay, first off, I want you to me and to the audience explain what is the Cali style, because your style in particular mostly is Cali, which is a very particular style in shuffling. So explain a little bit to the people, because you were starting dancing when the Cali style was emerging.
Yeah.
In these years. So what is exactly Cali style, and what's the difference between the other styles?
Woo! My favorite subject. All right, cool. So, yeah, dude. The way I like to break it down for myself and for everybody, just to kind of like organize it, is that there's different generations of Cali style. There's, you know, when it first started, first generation, I would say that I'm first generation because I saw this guy, Rare, that's his name, Rare, like Raro, in Spanish. He was the first one to like shuffle different. Like his Running Man was more bouncy, and there was a specific video. It was like SBN featuring KC. Like he was a part of KC. He was the freaking founder. And they made a big deal in that video. They edited it so that, you know, okay, I forgot who it was. It must have been Cubo, Axel, and somebody else. There was like 3 SBN members. Mm-hmm. And then dun 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 build up, you know, fade to black, ... get ready. And then boom, they showed Rare's clip. Like that's how different he was. Like a lot of people knew that he was a different shuffler. You know, he had a very great impact. So in the beginning, to describe Cali style, it was just more like there was more swag, there was more like attitude within shuffling, because, you know, already shuffling is more like, I mean, I don't want to say robotic, but it's like, it's a routine. right? You
Yeah.
do one step, two step, one step, two step, one step, two step. But this guy starts using like his whole body with it, right? He starts playing with the levels. He's shuffling up here, and then now he's shuffling down there. You know, what's known as like the KC drop, a really like popular Cali move. I used to call it the rare. Like, you know, there was a lot of like moves that came out from him that like were recycled with like the whole community. But I guess to really pinpoint it, besides the energy and the character, it's like it's a trick style. So this is when we started grabbing tricks, like other moves from other dance styles, and putting it with shuffling. So this has always been a Cali thing. You know, it's always been a Cali thing. When 67 came around, like that concept got amplified even more. You know, then we finally really started to learn other dance styles and fuse it, right? But it's always been a Cali thing to do like combos. It's a combo style. Just move after move, and then go back to your foundation, and then combos. So that's something that you're gonna see with all the old Cali videos. You're gonna see, yeah, like ground moves. You're just gonna see like even like some sea walk type of like the snake type of like footwork, right? Like you know that's the type of stuff that we would grab and we would put in shuffling. So yeah, I would say there was a one point where it was exactly that. It wasn't about like so it started off about the energy and about the character. So already like high knees, like D-Boy from GDK. It was just the foundation, but like better, like more sauce, more spice, right? And then like second generation Cali is like the more tricks, like just tricks, for sure. And then well now I would say kind of like 67 style, kind of like wrapped it up with like, okay, now we're gonna introduce pauses into shuffling. Nobody ever really like would pause, right? So like that, it just like, you know, it continuously growing. I honestly think it's still growing. You know, if people are willing to like come back to that style, it's only gonna get crazier.
So I think the most characteristic thing that I see in Cali style is this high knees that you mentioned. That you see like this big running man. You know when I see Gillies running man, I'm like, how's the knee can go this high?
Yeah, you should pause the video and you'll see like you'll like what
and catch the frame with the knee up here.
Catch the frame, bro. You'll be surprised. It's a lot of energy that goes into it, but yeah, eventually it just becomes second nature. Yeah, you know.
So
I always tell people like, if you want to learn like the higher intense type of shuffling, do it slow first. Do it slow. Gradually pick up the pace. Get a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and then yeah. So it's a lot of energy, man. That shit's.
So there's a curious thing in these steps. Like people think that is stepping hard, but it's just like the weight by itself who does the stomp. Like I see many people trying to stomp too strong, and they end up like getting hurt by doing this. But it's just no. But this is true. Like
both. Honestly, both. There's a way to make it like like momentum becomes your best friend. You can make it look like you're stomping hard, but you're not, right? But oh my god, if you're out here in a Cali circle, that's all you hear, like on the floor, bro, the poor dance floor. You just hear the wood smack, like it's so intense. So it's both. It actually, people are like hurting their legs, but like they're still doing it for some reason.
yeah, Yeah, I just imagine under a Cali dance floor, there's a metro in the underground, and people in the metro is like, everything is,
Yeah, no legit.
and
Bro,
people is
yeah,
what is
it's the
happening
thing.
here? No, it's just a Cali meetup up here.
It's just Cali shufflers. Cali shufflers,
Cali
bro.
shufflers doing their thing.
There's a moment where everybody's doing that in unison, and then you hear it. You hear the stomps getting louder than the music. It's such a trip. It's a trippy experience, but it gets loud, and you hear it.
We
You hear it.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we
stomping
did
at the same
this
time.
when I was in Mexico in 2019. We did with there was more than 100 people in the meetup,
Oh
and
shit!
and
Damn.
we got like a dark techno song which was boom boom boom, and we were all like bam bam bam, and we got everyone stomping at the same time. Like we have a video of that, and you see like lines and lines and lines and lines of people doing the Running Man
Hey.
at this like we were doing like a strong Running Man like boom boom,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you see all the sound of, as you said, all these stompings like eating the beat, and you see like a lot of
That's that Cali shit, bro.
and you see and you see a lot of dust starting going in the air. So it's a really cool video, man. I'm going to send it to
It
you later
happens,
after the
bro.
podcast.
That's culture. That's cultura right there. That's some culture shit. That's like no other dance style has that but us. That like unison stomp,
Yeah.
or like the water bottle game. We've got some culture for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we talked a little bit about Cali. Let's talk a little bit about how do you see in general all the shuffle movement taking the styles into account, because as you know, like I don't want to be like really bringing the topic in all the podcast about is shuffle, is shapes or whatever, but how do you see like the overall style right now, and which role do the sub styles take in the movement right now, because the path that is taking is like a general one, like just shuffle, and then having all the sub styles that can be done within this shuffle. So how do you see how the movement is going, and how would you approach that?
Yeah, dude. So, boom. I think I think and it's funny, dude. I mean, I don't know if people will laugh at me, but like, bro, like hybrid, that word, keyword hybrid, that is the future. That is both of the worlds coming together to just be like one dance set. I think that we can avoid a lot of the arguments if we just respect the upbringing of both different movements. Like I can't speak for shapes. I don't really know the history, but I know that within shuffling there was a certain order. There was a timeline. Melbourne, Malaysian, Russian, Cali. You feel me? There was like this
Yeah, yeah,
whole
yeah.
history.
Yeah, I know the timeline.
So I feel like there does need to be some sort of respect for that, and know that that happened. But like OGs and stuff, it's just about information, right? We got to realize that cutting shapes people like back then, like they actually called it like the house shuffle, right? Like we just got to know that it's just like the word shuffle itself. It's been used in different dances, right? Like the Cupid shuffle, like it's a very generic word for
Yeah.
coming up with any sort of footwork style. The word shuffle is in every dance style. There's a like in house dance.
There's a
There's a
step.
move called the
Yeah, the
shuffle
shuffle.
step,
Yeah,
right?
I know it.
So you feel me? It's honestly it's just within the word. The word kind of complicated a lot of things, but Yeah, information. Like I want to know more about like, yeah, the timeline about shapes, like how that happened in the communities, and then like that's its own thing. That's its own thing, and I think we can both meet together
Mm-hmm.
with the word hybrid, with the word shuffle shapes. It's just very clear. Like
It's
obviously, there wouldn't be a problem. There wouldn't be a problem at
I
all,
know-
right?
I wouldn't call it like shuffle shapes because because like to me, well, you said that you don't know many about the shapes history. I can briefly tell you about like the timelines. So like in
Yeah,
the beginning, in the raves, like shuffle was first seen in the UK raves. So in the UK raves, it was just one line. Okay, so the when the raves went to Australia, this is the UK line, this is the Australia line, and this starts in Australia. Different music, hard music, and in the UK it keeps the house music. So the style
yeah,
develops here into Melbourne, the Malaysian, then Cali, Russian, and here it keeps with the house. So house shuffle. And then in 2010 they introduced the term cutting shapes because the shapes they were doing with the arms it was not related to the foot, like the foot it was just their particular shuffle style, their way of dancing shuffle. Like in Cali they did their way, in Malaysia they did their way, in Melbourne they did their way. So it could have been called UK shuffle or London shuffle, and every there would have been no problem. But it was called shapes because the shapes of the arms, like if it was related to the foot, maybe it would have been called house shuffle or UK shuffle or whatever thing. So then people started to relate the cutting shapes term to the feet instead of to the arms, and this is when everything collapses and people starts to say, why is this shuffle like, or cutting shapes is a different thing when the steps were the same. Like people were starting to say no, cutting shapes is another thing when the steps were shuffle. Like people in the UK were saying no man, this is shuffle, like we've been doing this since the 80s. So when you talk with the OG people from the UK and they say and they explain that to you, you say okay, it's just this terminology misunderstanding that everyone is getting mad about all these things. So
yeah,
as Lu has said in the third episode of the podcast, like the paths of the shuffle were all together in back in the 80s, and then they separated. They had like two different movements, and then they convey and they come back together, and this is where we are right now. So if the dances didn't have this starting point, which was the same, and then the movement developed in two ways, like you could be talking about different dances because one started in Australia and the other started in the UK. But since the Australia was originated in the UK and then migrated to Australia, we can say that like the foundation is the same, the base of the steps is the same because it was
mm,
originated in the first in the same places with the same music, and it's just when you change the music you step harder. So like this is really the thing, like this information for me, like it's really new. Like I have this information not many months ago, like this precise information and timelines and concepts.
yeah,
But
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
days, like I could figure this out just by the way the steps were done. So why a running man, if you do it straight, is shuffle, and if you do it crossed, is cutting shapes. Like to me,
Uh,
it makes no sense. It's like if you do a T step on your right, it's shuffle, and if you do it in the front, it's another dance. It's like it
uh,
doesn't make sense just by the way
uh,
you end the
uh,
step. It's
uh,
another, and the energy and the concept is the same. To me, is when I didn't like the things weren't adding up. So I said maybe like it's a different way of shuffling, but it's still shuffling because like
yeah,
I don't see the difficulties of
yeah.
mixing it up if you learn this step. So like
It's
this,
like variations.
yeah,
You're like, what the heck? It's just a variation
yeah.
of that. Yeah, no,
To me, it's like that.
I remember I first did a video chat with Chuflis, and he like yeah, he like, you know, wrote it down on paper. Like it's the same thing. It's the same. It's the same running man. It's the same. It's shuffle. And I was like, oh, okay, okay, you're right. It's all just shuffling. uh, yeah, man. I think as soon as we can just stop, like, I mean, it's important to identify with something, but I wouldn't get too attached to identifying to something. If anything, just be attached to the idea of becoming a dancer, because yeah, once you're in dance, you just want to explore
Mm-hmm.
with everything, and that's why I do like a lot of like the new generation attitude, because they're like, oh, okay, I want to learn this now. Like, oh, I want to learn stepping. I want to learn this. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next? You know, like it. I like that sort of attitude where it's just like you're staying open to different things. But I mean, going back to like this topic, I I do think that we can learn so much from each other. Just yesterday, you know, I was out at the AR project event. Um, Met this guy for the first time. Dapper Danny
Mm-hmm.
is his Instagram tag, and he was doing some shapes, and I was like, well, damn, he was doing this like cowtail sort of sequence, you know,
Mm-hmm.
one leg, cowtail, one leg, cowtail, just back and forth. It looked like a running man, like a reverse running man. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta learn that, because that, like, I can take that and put it into my flow. If I
Mm-hmm.
if I practice, I'm like, okay, okay, I see you. Like I can do that. So you feel me? I'm like, I'm getting inspired by shapes little by little, and so like I think that's what's gonna continue to happen, is that yeah, it's just like
Hmm.
whatever we call it, hybrid or just shuffle, it's gonna stay fused
Mm-hmm.
for sure. They're both, obviously they're both very similar. It's like you said, it's just a variation. Um, yeah, dude, it's becoming more unified.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's like a center point, right? You know those graphs where there's like two circles, and
Hmm.
then there's that
Yeah.
center circle. Yeah, that's how it is, right? You got like the raw, just this shuffling, and then you got the raw shapes shuffling, and then yeah, you have the center. And honestly, man,
Yeah, but this way you can
the more
also,
the merrier.
because when I look at these styles in particular, I see, some elements in the Cali, some elements in the shapes, some elements in the Melbourne, some elements in the Malaysian, and they are all different. So
They're
for
different. They
so
are.
so one from each other, you can see the differences. So to me, it's not like the Melbourne Shuffle is like the main style, and the main, like, the basic is not the Melbourne. Like, for me, the basic moves are, the broad running man, raw T step.
Yeah.
You know how to do the spins, how to do the slides, how to do a lot of things, how to do the Charleston properly, like the most neutral. Then you can take it. Okay, how can I take the basic running man to the Melbourne running man, or to the Cali running man, or to the cutting shapes particular running man?
Yeah.
So to me,
That
this is,
base, right?
yeah.
Base. That's the
So
base.
there's a point, like, for me the important thing is the base, these steps, and then you can, because if you understand the base, you can see what what things you can add to this step to make it cutting or
Yes.
Melbourne. So you don't need, like, the little spice to the step to make it this way or the other
Bro,
way.
hella spice. Cook. Just cook. Get all different types of seasoning with the base. Yeah, that's the base. That's the meal. And then everything else is like whatever you want. To be honest, it, you want to help me? We're gonna make an ebook. It's gonna be called "1,000 Ways to T-Step." 1,000 ways to RM. You feel me? Let's just let's keep
And it's
ah,
just
let's
just
keep throwing some
just a
sauce,
thousand,
bro.
just 1,000.
Oh shit, my bad. Damn. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. No limits. No
No limits,
limits.
no limits. Okay, man, let's talk. I have some more topics here to talk about. And right now,
Yeah.
I think this one is really important because I've seen you talking about this and in your socials, and it's about the OGs right now because you're telling to the OG dancers that they need to come up and make their voice be heard. And what do you mean by that? Because I don't know really much in deep the scene in the US. Each podcast or each time I talk with people, I can understand it a little bit more. But what do you mean
Yeah.
with this call to the OGs right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if anybody knows what I mean. I'm just like, like I want people to see that, like, again, like I never choose sides. I always stay neutral. And it's like, yo, I'm gonna say some things that might trigger you, but best believe, like, know that, like, I know where you're coming from because I'm an OG, and I had all those feelings before when Shape started coming out. I was really like, I was hurt because I was like, damn. Honestly, like that's how I used to shuffle when I was a beginner. You know, like I did those same moves when I was trying to learn how to shuffle, but for some reason, this person has more exposure, more reach. You know, you start to realize in social media, it's not really about like who's the best. You know, who's the most technical. It's just about like putting on a show and so like I was there. I was mad. I had feelings. I was hurt. But I had to move on from that and realize that, yeah, I got to play the game. I got to, if that's what I want, if I want to be like properly acknowledged, and if I want the attention, it's up to me to make some dope ass content to get filmed by like filmers, you know? And so part of that is me telling OGs, yo, all you need is an HD camera. You just need to get filmed and stop getting filmed by your phone or right like just get filmed by somebody and then your raw ass style is gonna go viral, you know, that's all it's gonna take. Just like just get filmed by somebody, you feel me? Like that's all it's gonna take for you to get that reach, for you to get that acknowledgement that we all deserve. You know, we've every week for I don't know how many years we've been shuffling, right? So it's like of course we're gonna get butt hurt, you know, like when we see other people succeed. I think that happens in any profession, in any like to everybody. You know, it's hard to see people successful when you're not successful. Like I've been there many times. I'm still there, but I'm trying to wake up and be like, okay, you want it, then go get it. Like just go get it. So that's like my call to the OGs
Mm-hmm.
is like, if you have a problem with something, like face it, deal with it. Um, like we can't keep talking. There's all this talk. Like you're wasting time. Like you could be labbing right now. You could be making a dope ass video. You could be making a video that's gonna touch somebody's heart, gonna resonate with them. You know, make an impact. Because that's like people hate the word influencer, but like we are all influencers. Like we are all influencers with the captions that we put, with the content that we make.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like we inspire people to do the same thing, or we inspire people to do the opposite. Like so, everything that you say, everything that you post, know that there's power in it. So you got to be careful with what you say. You know, you got to be more approachable. We have this sort of like we have like a reputation, right? Like them Cali people, like we have a reputation because we haven't been so approachable. We've been too like click, like no, like nobody come inside. Like this is my house. But it's like I mean, yo, I don't know how many people, how many OGs have left shuffling. They've left, and I wish they could come back, but it's like people move on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It there is a reality where people are gonna grow out of shuffling, and then there's only gonna be like 10 OGs. There's a reality where that could happen. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be like, yo, get up. Like, shuffling is still fun. Shuffling is still gonna create great memories for you. We don't have to be like, oh, hey man, remember when we used to go to, this club, or yeah, those were the good days. Like, nah, dude, today we can do that again today. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
not? So I like that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, and I'm pretty thankful too. I'm like, shit, yes. Like, I'm finally like I'm passionate about it again, like from myself, because it's easier to be passionate when you're in a circle, when you're in a crew, when you're in a community. It's way harder to do things by yourself, but honestly, it's like it's more worth it. Like, you have more purpose and meaning and drive, and you set goals for yourself. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's harder, but yeah, that's basically my call to OGs. Is just like, yo, we can still have fun,
Mm-hmm.
and let's. Uh, People are gonna do their own things. Let them do their own things, because the moment that we start comparing each other, that's when things like don't get fun at all. When drama is the main reason that a lot of people stop shuffling. Like, since forever, like every generation of Cali, there's drama, and then people stop. So it's like, so why are we shuffling? Like, really dig into, like, why do you shuffle? Do you shuffle for other people, or do you shuffle for yourself? And this is why I say that, like, when you're alone and you start doing it for yourself, the connection is what more stronger. You can be, let's say, you're exiled from that community. Like, you can't step foot in this community anymore because you said something or you did something. You're gonna be okay still, because you love shuffling, and that's all that you need. You feel me? It's like, uh, yeah. I got a lot to say, man. Sorry.
No, but what you say, it's really true to me, because
Yeah.
everyone has said something inaccurate or bad sometime, and some people I talked shit about them at their back, and now there's some of them one of my best friends and one of the best partners in dancing, and it's like, man, it was another time. Like, you were taking things different. You can change your approach. The other person can also change the approach, and you can convey and be in the same path, which is just make the shuffle great. And if you really love shuffling, you will end up being in contact and working with people who really love shuffle. If there's someone that doesn't share this passion that truly, like, you won't resonate with this person. Like, let them do their thing, just do what you believe in, but you must do. If you just complain and don't do this, it's not adding anything to the movement. So it's just, well, you're adding a little bit of drama because there's someone complaining, and if it's an OG, people respect the OGs. So, like, even though there's little, there's not a big amount of OGs, when they say something, people hear to these people because they have a say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they respect it because they are in the game for a long time. And if they see OGs just complaining, they're saying like, okay, so what are we supposed to do? Like, the scene is not the same than 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 years ago. Like, the scene is changing so much every time. Every year is
Every year.
is a little bit different. So it's just, as you said, you need to find this within pleasure of dancing shuffle
Yeah.
within you. So this year with the pandemic and being locked down at home, there's a lot of people that quit shuffling for sure. So through this, you see the people who is really into shuffling because they've been alone for a very long time, and who is still shuffling? The people who just need shuffle and themselves. Okay, there's more people. Yeah, okay, good. There's meetups, events, whatever you want. Let's get good moments and be happy with the people. But when you're just by yourself with shuffle, you need to be okay with it. And like the movement doesn't have to condition how well are you with shuffle just by yourself. So maybe the movement is taking a path that you don't like. Maybe you're good with the shuffle and there's something you believe in. Maybe you can work on that and make other people see the beauty of what you're approaching the shuffling, and maybe there's more people that will believe in you, and maybe you end up making changes to the community long term because you've believed in that and you've been working and I don't know, hosting meetups, starting workshops, doing events, whatever you want, or posting content. So this is like the way we felt here with Chuflis and the people of the Shuffle Showcase, because we were, this this thing about the shapes and starting competitions and all these things. Like there was the same problems in Spain that in the US or other countries, but we thought that this was the way, everything we spoke before, this was the way, this is how things should be working in order to evolve and go through
Yup.
and go through everything. And when we were trying to convince people and explain to people that wasn't willing to listen, like it was a waste of time and we were getting hate from these
Yeah.
people. So we started to say, okay,
Say that
just
again.
just, just
Say that again.
so 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 we just kept working in the things we believed in, and the time told us, okay, the people now wants, people is demanding now that you explain things to them, or that you organize an event, or that you do a workshop. And that is because they saw that people who was approaching the shuffle this way, it's not because it's the best way, it's just is a way. And if people is liking, there's more people that will be, why is this people having this fun, or why is people becoming this good in shuffling and we're not, what are they doing? And they see what they're doing and say, okay, maybe let's give it a try and see how this goes. Maybe they end up finding, okay, okay, this is great. Like, and then you remember, okay, this was the thing that they were explaining to me 2 years ago, now I see it. But because it comes from within them, if you force to see this to everyone, if they're not in this moment, maybe they don't see it. But if you just do and they see, and this desire to learn or to understand the approach comes within them, they will finally be open to hear what you have to say. So I think this is the
Yeah.
way. Just work like on your bubble and make people wanting to get in your bubble, and the bubble gets bigger and bigger. And now, like this is how big changes start. Like there's a little bubble with just yourself. If you inspire one person, this person will come into your
Yeah.
bubble, and the bubble gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when people pass near the bubble, they say, "Oh, this is really cool. I want to join." And this is the way. So
Yeah.
I also encourage to all the people who OGs or not OGs who has a vision or trust in is or of things that need to be done in some way in particular, just encourage yourself and get out and do it. Because if not, you at least try it. If they don't work, you at least try it. And if they do work, all better.
Oh. It's getting deep, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
but like this is the way.
Yeah, ultimately just do you. It's like it sounds so simple, but sometimes it's so hard to just do you. Just do what you want to do. And like you said, like you'll have like people that will like follow you, people that won't follow you. And it's just about like, yeah, staying true and authentic to yourself and knowing that the right people are gonna come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard with social media because it's just natural human instinct. Like and there's nobody in this world that doesn't want attention. This is a basic human like surviving instinct.
Mm-hmm.
We want attention. We want to be liked by other people. So with social media, that's like the goal, you know, get more followers, get more you get liked by more people like what you're doing. So sometimes you do like a shortcut, be like, okay, people like this, so I'm gonna try that. Like I'm gonna do it for people. You know, you can get lost with the authenticity. And the point that I'm trying to make is that yeah, just stay real. You know, just stay real, just do you, and you don't want to be liked by everybody. That is not the goal. Don't be liked by everybody. Just be liked by the right people. Get respect from the right people. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's all that truly matters. That's all that will like keep you going. Because followers, if followers can be gained fast, they can be like drained fast too.
Mm-hmm.
With like one little mistake you make, right? Or let's just say you know you just stop posting content that is like entertaining for your crowd, and you have to switch to another crowd, right? It's like, but if you just have that strong foundation of people, those people will carry you through your success and through your hard times. Those people will always be there for you. So it's like having that rule of like if you just have like 1,000 supporters, right? Like you're good. If you just have 1,000 like strong fans, you're good. You don't have to worry about anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're gonna continue on with
Well,
whatever
it's just
you wanted.
as you said, it's just finding to do what it feels you the most, not what feels
Yeah,
the people needs or warnings. You know, in the end,
you can find a balance. Yeah, you can find
yeah,
a
you can
balance.
find the balance. Like right now, like talking about the content is like dancing videos. Like you can have a balance, but if you're, for example, I don't know, people is expecting from you to teach things. Maybe you should teach things. This is what people want, and you're good at it. So maybe you should start teaching things because more people will be interested in what you have to say.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean
but
that but that doesn't mean that if you don't have people who wants your content, you don't have to post it because you can create the demand. Maybe you have knowledge that not many people knows that you have, and because you start posting, people start saying, okay, this man or this woman has a lot of information that I want to learn, and you will go to this page, follow this page, and comment to post more information like this.
no, yeah, like how you said, like okay, people are teaching, so maybe I should teach too. But teaching is a whole other skill. Not everybody is a teacher. It is hard to teach sometimes if you haven't had that experience. You might be natural at teaching. You might be. So try it out. But teaching itself is like it's a whole different art, different skill set. So that's like what I mean by like find the balance. Like stay true to you. Like again, like right now in this year in this era, teaching is like the trend. Teaching is a super trend right now, and it feels like that's the only way. But yeah, like my other like call to action to like the OGs and the new generations too, performing. Like why are we not performing? Like we already perform like with our videos that we make. We perform when we go to the club, the event, to the session. So it's like, let's perform. Like that's not, you know, like when it comes to like shuffle money too, like if you want that shuffle money, again, you don't have to do teaching. There is performing that you can pursue too. That is something that I want people to like realize. That is something that the only way that I'm gonna get people to like realize that if I change my mentality. So that's my change that I'm going through right now. I'm gonna stop teaching, not entirely, but I'm gonna finally focus on performing. I finally have like the courage to just be like, hey, do you guys need a performer? Like, oh, hey, I noticed you guys have go-go dancers at your club. How do you feel about having like I mean, I have some homies, I have some homegirls. Maybe they can be shuffle go-go's for you. You feel me? Like, it's time for us to like really enter the industry, like the EDM industry, the rave industry, and I think a lot more people are going to be satisfied. Like, I think a lot more people are going to find peace. We're going to stop thinking about like who's teaching, are you certified to teach? Like, we're going to stop talking about that. And then now it's like people are going to find their path. Because again, teaching is not the only path. There's also performing. That's what's 2021.
Okay, so you already advanced some of the topics I wanted to bring up. So let's talk about teaching, because we're right now talking about teaching. So what with you just said, sorry. So some months ago, I was seeing you posting that you were encouraging people to start teaching. If you know something that you can teach, don't be afraid, get yourself out, teach it to someone.
Yeah.
So why do you encourage all the people you can to start teaching?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so glad I have the answer. It just popped up right now. It's the best answer because that is how I started a community in my high school. I was the only person that was, a computer geek. I'm on YouTube all the time. I found out what shuffling was. I started learning it. And then I took it to my friend circle. And then I taught my friends. And now my friends, they know how to shuffle. And what did they do? They taught their friends how to shuffle. And it just spread. It just spread like wildfire. We started off with only 2 to 5 people shuffling. And then now, 50, 60 people now know how to shuffle. And I didn't have to be a pro. I didn't have to know a lot. This was my first 3 months, 4 5 months of shuffling. I was complete like bleh. I wasn't good at all. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, I had to be good enough to like inspire other people. But I wasn't like pro status. But the fact that I just had some new information to pass on, hey, this is what I'm learning. You want to try it out? Oh shit, yeah. Let me try it out. Oh damn, you're actually better than me. Like, that's dope. It's just like you never know until you try. It's like teaching is just like another human connection. Like, you make connections through like teaching. Sharing a piece of you with somebody else. So that's why I'm not like too strict when it comes to teaching. Obviously, only teach like what you feel comfortable with teaching. Like, don't rush it. Don't rush anything. Don't like try to teach something that you're just learning. But then again, that's contradicting because like the story that I just said, I didn't know much, but I was a guide. I wasn't a teacher. I was a guide. I was like, hey, look at these videos that I'm looking at. And then so, you know what I mean? Like, I directed people to like the actual pros.
So you weren't actually teaching the moves. You were like pointing to the source.
Yeah. if anything. Like I would actually teach them. I'd be like, okay, hey, learn this, right? Like even with tutting,
Mm-hmm.
with shuffling too. Like I'd be like, learn this, but this is where I got that
Okay. Mm-hmm.
from these videos. Yeah, yeah. These are my idols. Like I give credit. Like yo, these guys are crazy. Speedo Devo, Hardstyle Republic. Like I put them on, and then now they're fans of them, and that's all we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, in high school, like that's all we talked about. We just shuffle names. We just like always bring up people's names, like with our regular conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Always talking about Devo, crazy Malaysian shuffler. Um, yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's my approach. That's my approach. I'm like, uh, you can be a teacher or a guide. You know, maybe like market your class in the way that like intro to shuffling. I think that's the safest way. You won't get any hate at all if you just market your class and your flyer intro
Mm-hmm.
to shuffling. Yeah, and then boom, you're safe. You're in the safe zone. You're gonna be able to like inspire people that have no idea about shuffling. Those are like those are the people that you want, right? It's important to think about your target audience.
Mm-hmm.
When I do classes, I know that the classes are not for like OGs or experienced people. So it's like, like I'm marketing to new people or like people in the middle. Uh, so yeah, it's a really important how you market yourself. I think
Mm-hmm.
you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, this is when right now, I have classes every week. I have many groups, some
Hey,
private classes too. But I started with no teaching knowledge. Like I don't have any teaching background or pedagogic, formation, whatever. But you just need to
nice.
start. Like if you want, you don't need to wait to be a great teacher to start being a teacher. Like you just need to start, and then with the time and with experience, you'll become a teacher. And you need to find a joy in teaching and liking the teaching. Just not do it, okay, okay, maybe I can make money out of it. Let's teach. Yeah, it will give you money eventually when you get experience and people is willing to pay because maybe you have good information. But like this hasn't to be the motivation at all. Like you need to really have like a
Because
really good information and things and willing to teach to new people and be patient and willing to go 3 times around the things if they don't understand it. Like you need to enjoy that. And when people say, okay, now I understand it, and you feel this joy of, man, damn it, we passed the information correctly, let's go.
damn. Yeah, don't chase money, chase a dream. Because yes, no, bro, like you are gonna get money from shuffling. It's a given. It's been proven with all these different shuffle programs. You can make a lot of money off of shuffling if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you teach shuffling, you make a program, you're gonna get money, no doubt. However, yeah, is that what you really want to do? Like like if you're not enjoying just like the act of the service of teaching, it's just gonna be another job.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be another job that little by little you're not gonna like it anymore. That's what happens. So I mean, obviously, money is so important. We need money in our lives
We need to pay the
to
bills.
pay the bills, to invest, get better equipment, stuff like that. Have better experiences in life. It's so important, but it's like I think you really have to chase something that inspires you, that like makes you feel great after you do it. It's like, damn, that was fun. I can't wait to do it again. Tomorrow. You know, as soon as something starts being like, oh, damn, I gotta teach this damn 1 hour, 30-minute workshop. God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you start getting anxious about that, it's like you kind of have to like take a step back and, is this fun? Is this fun or not for me? Is this fun or, it really dive deep into like why you're doing things. And I'm just speaking out of experience. You feel me? I know, like, people tell me I'm a great teacher. Thank you. But I'm realizing right now, I'm realizing I'm like, there's something more. There's something more. Like I have more to offer, and I think that is because, yeah, like I have to do more like showcase type of work. I think that's like where my mind is at right now. I'm just speaking out of experience. It's like I was having fun teaching, but then it did start to become sort of like something's missing, or like there's a little bit more spice that I need
Yeah,
for
that
feel like
maybe I think that maybe the thing that is missing to you is a topic that we're going to talk in short time in the podcast. That
oh
is the this tournament element about being able to go and showcase your skills, you know.
yeah
So like because right now, to me, with having the teaching and having the battling, but not because the battle, but because you prepare for this event, you train, you lab, you try to improve yourself, then you go meet everyone, get this atmosphere, and then prove yourself and try to beat and do better than you did last time. Like with all these things, like I don't need any more. Like yeah, I can do some show or whatever if I want, but being able to just not do events in your city and traveling around to other events, meeting new communities, like all of this, like you have it all with with this. You have the teaching experience, people people coming to the classes, and then you have the battles, and like you also have the meetups, and like there's a lot of cool things just with
hell
that.
yeah
And man,
hell yeah
I realized, like, in this last months I was like noticing that I needed to really take more action about shuffling in shuffling, and starting to make money just from shuffling. And I
yeah
decided, like, I was only teaching in person, and I said, okay, let's open online groups and see how it goes. When I was
yeah
first in the online groups, and after one class, I was like we finished the stretching. I I closed the meeting and everything, and I was like I was feeling so grateful and so good about being able to make money through this thing that I love. And I
yeah
said, man,
yeah
I need to I need to make this grow, because you can become a full-time shuffler, teaching and
yeah
then doing other things, but this will allow to keep
possible
investing in the movement, teaching people or hosting events or putting out content for, tutorials, and also performance videos, so people can get
oh yeah
entertained.
yeah you
So
direct them
yeah, so I was like, I had stretched everything, and I was like, I was feeling like very happy and very, super good with having these groups classes. And I was like, I played music and I started dancing, on my own, and like just super happy. Just I wanted to express this joy through shuffling. And this is like one of the better moments of dancing that I had, because I was
yeah
feeling like, man, you're starting to build this path of becoming a professional shuffler. And right now I can afford that because I still live, with my family. But if I make the groups grow a little bit more, like I could easily start just living by myself. So like,
Yep.
so this is something. No, but you realize that just by taking action and believing and putting in the work, things will sometime pay off. And and
You
and
changed the game.
and just thinking that,
You can-
and this is just the beginning, you know, like shuffling is just starting. And if you can achieve this just when it's starting, imagine what you can get in 10 years or 20 years. So I don't know, it's just I because I've, you know, when you feel this, you see that this is the path, like you need to pursue this.
Yeah.
There's no other thing. Pursue this and
Yeah.
put your hours here, because it won't feel like
Yeah.
you're putting the hours. It just will feel like doing your thing, like you will flowing in this. So, you know, there's a point of you need to be careful about what you're teaching, as you said, like you really need to know the things. I think that right now there's not many people that can teach advanced shuffling, because
Oh.
I know I've seen classes of yours. I think you're a person who is mm, able to teach advanced. As I say, I won't go to anyone and say you can't teach this. Like, do, if you do something, I know with the time will speak for these people who has done maybe something wrong, or they didn't know what they were teaching. But you know, people like you, for example, who has a lot of knowledge in shuffling, you can see easily who can teach. Or if you go to a class, you can see if these people or this person is ready to explain some advanced things, because like you need to have a really profound knowledge of shuffling to
Oh yeah.
like I mean to explain really advanced things. Like people think that doing a different step or something a little bit crazier is advanced. But when, as we said, when you're talking about advanced freestyle, like people can't imagine what can happen in someone's head, and all the things that happen in the same time. And you need to have a lot of knowledge and experience in freestyling for teaching really 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 advanced in
Yeah.
shuffling. You know,
Yeah.
when I have like new students from this past months, for example, and people is like, I didn't know shuffling had all these things. and and this is just
Oh.
they in the begin.
Yeah.
And I tell them, this is the beginning of your journey. You know, like this is like the most basic things. So when I see people feeling this, and they were coming from other teachers, and they changed the teacher because they didn't see much things in shuffling, and they say, I guess shuffle doesn't have more. But when they come to other teachers, maybe like me or like Shuflis or like you, they say, okay, there's a lot of things that I didn't have in mind. Like people can't even imagine. Like until you take a class from a really 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 good teacher, and people who has
Yeah.
a lot of advanced information, you can't imagine or feel what's like to be to have this this moment of what is really shuffle like this. Like, can you achieve these things in shuffling? Or
Yeah.
I didn't even think about doing something like that. So it's just I'm always very careful about things that I explain. But you know, with the time and putting in the lab hours, you know, we love the lab.
Hell
And
yeah.
putting in these hours allow you to become more expert about the things you're training and you're practicing. So lab is not just about dance. Like in lab, you need to have your mind to 2,000 revolutions going pa 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 pa, and
Yeah.
thinking a lot and processing a lot of things. So
Creativity.
it's a little bit tricky when you want to teach advanced in shuffling. Okay.
It's yeah. But it's possible.
Yeah, yeah. No, of course it's possible. No,
It's possible.
I'm not saying that people shouldn't do. I I say that it's people need to be careful about what is advanced and what is not,
Yeah,
because
you
may
just do your research. Yeah,
yeah,
basically,
because
you
we
really have to do your
if
research if you want to.
yeah,
Yeah,
because maybe some people think they are advanced or they're learning advanced moves or advanced classes, and maybe, like, people who are they taking classes from is an intermediate dancer, and like this can be advanced for a beginner, but there's layers. You have the basics
there's
layers, the
layers,
like
there's
the
levels.
intermediate layers, yeah. So
Oh
I think
my
that
gosh,
people, you know in the beginning you don't know what is really advanced or intermediate. That's why
true.
this message is for teachers.
Yeah,
So just acknowledge what you're really teaching, and if you see like other people doing a lot of things that you don't understand, maybe you're not that advanced yet, because you can become. It's not like
yeah.
impossible.
Oh yeah, man. It just takes labbing. You just
Yeah.
gotta lab, and then you're gonna be fine. Uh, Levels. There's so many levels to it, man. I like to think that like if I was gonna continue pursuing like having a school, I was gonna have like a five rank program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 ranks. It's like you earn 5 different ranks.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing too is that, like you said about like trying out different teachers, because I myself, yeah, it's gonna be impossible for me, even though I have all the knowledge, it's gonna be impossible for me to teach you everything about shuffling, because there are so many other like key players that threw in their own unique sauce. You have to go take a class with them too, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that I kind of want people to like think about that too. Like if you're gonna start teaching, pair up with somebody, like start a school, because then like your students are gonna learn more because they see your perspective, but then they see your your teacher assistant perspective as well. Having those options is only gonna help the student learn more. And yeah, that's something like, if I were to continue to pursue like my shuffle academia, I would do it like that. Where and I did it. I started off like that. Like I hired Superman. I hired Wolf, and I learned from their classes. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a perspective I want people to see more too. Is that like you don't have to do it alone. You might actually end up doing better if you partner up with somebody, co-partner, or just a team of 5 people. And sometimes things are better when you're in a team. Like you have more people to help you promote the classes, get more people, different networks. Something to think about
Hmm. Yeah, but you
for
need to
for,
have
for
everything
anybody watching this.
pretty well planned. You need to have everything pretty well planned and have the resources, because you hire people, they also, you don't just need to cover your bills, you need to cover their bills if they're working full time, with you. If they're
Yeah,
just working some hours in specific, that is more affordable, but when you scale the team of your project, you need to have a lot of things in mind.
yeah,
Okay,
it's possible.
let's jump to the next amazing topic, which is tournaments and battling.
Oh,
Yay, Boomboxx happy.
go. Let's go.
Okay, so I've seen you us telling, I've seen you talking a lot about battling, and people should be battling and bring this healthy competition to the movement, so you can grow, so people can become better than themselves. So what do you see as the competitions need to be like? Because there are some places that competitions already exist, but not in the US particularly. So what do you think that, and why do you think tournaments and competitions are needed to improve this style?
Oh yeah, they are necessary, man. They are essential for many reasons. One is just a common phrase like uh, competition, like creates innovation. Competition creates innovation. Like that's how it was back then. Remember how it was very territorial. Hey, don't bite my move. I came up with that. So that tension that was created, it was like, well, damn, I gotta create my own move then. You were forced to be creative back then because you didn't want to be a biter.
Hmm.
So you feel me? So you had to really like go to the lab and just figure out a way to just do your own style.
Yeah.
And so like that's the type of like I feel like I'm not gonna say it's missing, but I want to encourage that more. You know, like people hitting the lab like with a purpose, right? Like to be better, to learn new things, and having a battle. It's just like it's having a goal. You know, if I practice 2 weeks, I'm gonna feel confident enough to battle this guy that I've been wanting to battle for a long time. Like I'm gonna be ready, I'm gonna be confident. Like it just it's a purpose. Like you give yourself a purpose to shuffle. Like you give yourself another reason to shuffle. It's just entertainment. Like a lot of people like boxing, yeah?
Hmm.
A lot of people like boxing. It's the same concept where you have two different artists, against each other. People think that like when you battle, you destroy the love of the art, but that's completely wrong. Like when I battle somebody, like I form a connection with them, and it's like it's a really deep connection. It's like I see you, like
Yes,
I know you're really good,
it's like a
and
conversation.
yeah, I know you're really good, and like I respect your craft, I respect your technique, and honestly, like I'm grateful that I'm battling you. It's like when you meet that like worthy opponent, right? Like two levels at the same level clash. It's like it's magic, dude. Like I love when that happens when you have like the right match, like the right match. You know how like there's like lightweight, heavyweight in boxing.
Hmm.
When you find your partner, like your sparring partner, when you find your enemy, your rival, when you find that person, best believe you're gonna be more determined
Hmm.
to lab, to shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust, because it's like, damn, you have to practice now because if you battle, it's like your name is on the line, your reputation is on the line. There's pressure, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but I do encourage people to try it out at least once to see if they like it. You never know. Yeah, yeah. And but yeah, in order for there to be more tournaments, we have to have more people battling. And I do think the culture is a little bit missing right now, and it's because nobody wants to lose. It's very simple.
No, but it's okay to
Nobody
lose.
wants to lose, but
But
like you have to like. It's not about winning or losing. Like it is about that
I think
connection
people
I'm
need
talking about.
not just people need tournaments to start being organized. People need battle education because it's not
Yeah.
like people see battling as okay, you win, I lose, I'm worst, or I lost the respect. It's not like
Oh,
that.
I'm better. I'm better
No,
because
it's
I
not.
won.
It's not. It's not like that. You know,
Yeah.
when we start
Not at all.
seeing how you talk and how you live the battles, I'm sad that we had to cancel the event last year due to Corona. Where you were coming to judge.
Yeah, I know, dude. It was like full circle, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm still grateful, you know. I'm glad that that could have happened, and it's like it's gonna happen with you guys. It's gonna happen with another country. Like
No,
I,
if I'm not wrong,
I want that to happen for everybody too. I want people from Cali to
when
fly out.
mhm.
Like I want it to be a thing because it's already a thing. Like other dance communities, they already do this. I'm always watching the Crump community. I'm always watching their IG stories. These guys are like traveling all over the place, inspiring people in different cities with their experience. It's beautiful, man. It's crazy. Like, I love to. It's motivating.
Don't worry, because when the this competition takes place finally, I think they were going to bring the same judges, so you'll be flying. You'll be flying
Oh,
here.
shit, let's go.
Okay. Happy Boomboxx in the house.
Woo.
Okay. Um, about battling, you know, in Spain right now we've been battling for many years now, and I just
Yeah.
can tell one thing that the battles brought, and it's improvement. Like everything has improved so much thanks to battling.
Mm.
You know, in the beginning we didn't know how to battle, so we were taking other style dancers, electro, hip hop, and telling them, okay, what is important in a battle? Like, what do we need to teach our people so they can learn how to battle and how to face this moment and how to take the competition, like to not be, you know, toxic competition, and don't be, as we said, oh, I'm better, or you're the worst, or you're not worthy if you lose. It's not like that. And we started the competitions, and people, uh, you know, we teach people that they need to hype everyone. If
I
one of the two dancers is more known, automatically this man, this will get more hype. So you need to make sure that the other gets hype too, and gets a good
hey,
experience,
hell yeah.
and wants to, you know, come back to the shuffling event. Because if not, if someone goes to a competition and faces a, you know, a known dancer, and the other one gets hyped and they don't get any hype, they may and they lose. Imagine you don't get hype, you lose 3-0 from the judges votes. Like, you're having a bad experience because these people is not valuing you, and you think that you're not worthy, or that you're not valuable, and you don't, like, you don't know how to dance, or you're a bad dancers, and it's not like that. Like, you need to, like, if you just learn to how to shuffle, how can you beat a 5 year, or for example, dancer? It's pretty difficult. You can eventually, but it's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
And the community need to make sure that they hype these people and encourage this person to keep trying and keep dancing. So you need to make the experience so good that even though they lose, when they were dancing, they were feeling it, like they were feeling the atmosphere, and they were like, oh man, I love the experience, and they want to
Happy to be there.
yeah. And you know, there's a lot of people that they weren't participating in the tournaments, and they were coming to see the tournaments because they just love the atmosphere. It's like, I don't know, I'm a little bit insecure, but I'll come. And with the time, more people starts listing in the competitions because they love, and they, you know, they see people coming out of from the competitions and saying, man, this has been one of the best days of my life. I've enjoyed really much dancing. And then people start to say, okay, maybe I'm missing something out. Like, I'm having so much fun just watching. Imagine if you dance.
Imagine if you were in it.
Yeah.
Woo!
You know, for example, in
Adrenaline.
2019, in the Showcase League, which is the biggest event I've taken place into, there was 100 dancers in the preselection. 100.
Damn.
And just 32 were going to the bracket. And a top 32 is a big bracket. In many events, it's just top 8 or top 16. But we made it 32, so more people get the opportunity to battle. So the
Wow.
tournament will be longer, but the experience of the people will be better. So
Yeah.
so
More people involved. Yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
and people get
I love that.
and dancers getting more experience, because what we want is
Experience.
people to get to get experience in battling. So in the end, in a competition, just one winner will remain out of 100. Your chances, if all the equally to all the dancers, if there's 100, it's just 1%. And it's pretty difficult, because for winning a tournament, you just don't need to be a good dancer. You need to be outstanding in every round. In every round you dance, you need to be outstanding, because
Wow.
losing a tournament or winning a tournament doesn't mean that you're the worst dancer or the best dancer. It means that you performed the better this day.
Yeah.
Like in these moments,
Yeah.
you were the best
moment.
in that moment. Maybe you also overall are the best dancer. This can happen, but a battling and tournament is a momentary thing. This is why, like for me, the best dancer is not who wins once. Maybe the best dancers are these people who every tournament and every time they are here, and they are always in the top 1, top 2, top 4 within this position.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you manage to be in
history.
in this top all these years, maybe we can be talking about someone who is really, really, really good through the time, and this man is a really good dancer. But if you just win once, yeah, you did really good, like you did the best, that's why you win. But sometimes this is not the best dancers. It's not take of taking merit about this, but people need to acknowledge that if they lose, they're not the worst dancers. Maybe they could have done better just this day. And in some tournaments, the best dancer of the room loses first round. Big, matchup or just vibes or whatever. But doing the battling brought a lot of people to say, okay, I need to learn more. I need to go to more workshops and do more labbing, and I can come to the next competition and maybe try to beat my last mark, and maybe I got to the top 8, maybe I can get to the top 4 or to the finals. So like this is the attitude that we promoted, having the people, having fun. If you lose, it's okay. It's not about you're a bad dancer. It's about you could have done better, or the other one is in his best moment, and like it was very difficult to beat this one. And there's also judge criteria taking an important role. So like there are a lot of things that can make you win or lose, but you need to be aware that you're not always going to win and you're not always going to lose. So so you just need to take it as experience, and if you want to do better, be aware that you need to train even more. If you want to be an outstanding dancer in battling, you need to be willing to put the more work that any other one.
Damn.
So this is like the attitude and the things that we promote, so people gets involved in training and wanting to learn and wanting to develop their style. So when you take battling like this, like I don't see that bad. Like with Francis, he was saying back in the days in Australia, people when they were battling, they were like doing like they were dancing and then doing the finger with the hand and all these things. Like this, when this happens in Spain, people is laughing about these people. People saying, "What are they doing? Like this is dancing, man. Dance. Like, well, what the fuck are you doing? This is not for here." And I've seen judges saying the battle was pretty, draw was pretty much a draw, but maybe I'm voting the other one because this one insulted, did this thing with the finger. And it's just like, because this is not dancing for me. This is not the place to do that. And, when you see this happening, you see that battling is not about insulting or beating the other one, like, in a bad way. It's just dance, man. If you dance better, you win. But it's just dancing. It's a conversation. As we said, dance is also language. So in the other dances, you can answer to this dance with more dance. So competitions, to me is like this. But in order to make the competitions become like this, you need to educate the people to take the competitions like this.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm super glad that you guys are encouraging that sort of mindset. I think more people need to hear that, bro. Like the fact that like when you get judged, that's not your final judgment. That's not your final like grade, your score. You know, damn, I'm an average shuffler, or like I'm a B grade shuffler. Like, no, that's just that moment. And I think if we get more people to realize that, there's going to be more battles. There's going to be more competitions. Because yeah, man, the competitions. I'm telling you, the FTS competition online one. I know that like it really affected a lot of people. You know, it affected a lot of people's like mental states. Um, and you know, all I can say is, yeah, just keep trying, do another battle. Like, it's all a learning experience. And I think if we have more leaders like yourself promoting that positive mindset, then we're gonna be fine, man. We're gonna be good. Um, yeah, we're gonna be good so long as we have like positive leaders teaching how to battle,
yeah,
Maybe
it's
we
really
need more
important.
workshops. Yeah, maybe we need more workshops on that. To be honest,
Yeah, but you need to
teaching
start
how
having
to
the
battle.
battles so you can start. So people is interested in learning how to battle. You know, in Spain,
Yeah,
in
I'm gonna write
Barcelona,
that down.
you know, we had the open studio all Saturdays, and when competition date was starting to be near, we were starting to do battling sessions, and not just okay let's battle, but explaining okay, so when you're battling, like this is like a, as we said, like a conversation. So you need to hear the music, you need to understand how the music tells you, you need to understand what the other dancer is telling you through that. So like, you know, you can respond through dancing to what he did.
Mm.
You know, for example, if you know, if he's doing, you know, ground spins, maybe you can take ground spins to a little bit extra level. So this
Do
way
better.
you're
Yeah,
saying, okay, I can do this too and better. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
not just
better.
about that. Or maybe the, you know, the other one, like your rival ends doing a spin, you know, a fast spin, and you enter the round with another fast spin. Is like you're responding to what he's saying.
Communicating. Yeah, you're paying attention. You're
Yeah,
paying attention to
and
your
people
opponent.
is like, okay, nice spin, but then oh man, this is coming with
Yeah.
another spin, and oh, like people understands that, you know.
The perspective of the audience
No,
too. It's something that
you,
they can see.
yeah, but you know, when people sees you
Important.
dancing, you know, the important thing who is going to judge you is the judge. But if you do that, judges will understand, and they will say, man, this guy is not is answering with dance moves,
A
you know.
a
So you know, there's a lot of things coming in the game
art.
when
Yeah,
battling.
art.
Yeah,
Art of battling.
yeah. So it's a really interesting topic, you know, as you said, to do workshops and to teach. But you know, people need to be willing to want to have competitions. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's a time when people tries
I
competitions,
just
they like it.
I just think we need to have more fun. Legit. Just like we just need to have more fun. You know, get our egos out and just have fun, do something. You know, it's an activity. It's something to look forward to. It's like, yeah, this Friday, Boomboxx and Marbiik are gonna battle. Like, are you going? Like, you know, it's like an event. It's just like entertainment. It's fun. Let's do it, man. Let's just. Who cares? Who cares what the results are? You know, the results, you know, you get a little badge,
Yeah,
you know, a pin on your jacket, but like it's the experience. Yeah, it's the hype. For sure. It's the
Yeah,
feeling.
I don't recommend having judges when you're not in a competition. Like when you're practicing battles, you just focus on the battle. Like it doesn't matter
Yeah,
the
yeah,
result.
yeah.
Yeah, for example, if we're battling, you know, we
Basically, nobody wins.
yeah, we organize a meetup and we say, okay, let's do a, you know, battle showcase. You, for example, you and me, and
No.
like we don't need judges. It's just the battling and you know,
Yeah,
the show
back and
and
forth.
yeah,
Boom,
and
boom,
having this.
boom, boom. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah.
So
Infinity rounds.
yeah, no, but I think when you focus on the art, as you said, the art of battling, there's a lot of things in this moment that you need to be aware and catch in the moment and be able to respond to all of this. So battling is a great thing, and when people tries it and you know leave their ego in at home, you know,
Yeah,
in the competition there's always an ego, and you know if you want to
you
win,
can bring it.
yeah,
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 you can bring it.
but you don't need to let the ego drive you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to have like this ego in terms of okay, I need to know that I'm a really good dancer, and I need to to
Mm,
to to see the people notice that I'm confident about me. And when I'm battling, you know, I'm sure that what I do is great, and I can also try to get the other one nervous by you know doing some gestures or trying to. But this is also part of the art of battling. Is
damn, bro. It all comes back to like mental health. You realize that it really just is about like how your energy is. Are you positive about it, or are you negative about it? You realize that if you're more positive, it's just like, oh yeah, sure. You want to battle? Oh yeah, cool. Let's go. Let's have some fun, right?
yeah,
If you're negative, it's just like, oh, you start getting in your head, you think about it too much, and then you don't battle, right? It all comes back to mental health. It all comes back to like, yo, just keep dancing. Practice makes confidence. Always, practice will only always make confidence, and you'll be good. You'll be good. You won't be stressing about anything so long as you are just having fun dancing for yourself. And yeah, it, that's crazy, bro. Honestly, that's what I think it is. It's just like the mental state that we find ourselves in sometimes,
mm-hmm.
that we don't allow ourselves to experience something else or something new. And it's time, bro. It's time for something new. It's time to experience battles, showcases. It's time we allow ourselves. We're gonna start.
Yeah, and I always see people saying, "I'm not ready yet. Maybe I can participate next year."
Right.
You know, next year's competition will be there, but this year's will not. So it doesn't matter you participate today or you don't. This competition is today or never. Like the next year's competition, it will be there. It doesn't matter if you participate today or not. So if you participate today, this will be your maybe your second competition or third, depending if you did another one.
Yeah.
But you know, this like in this moment you will never be more prepared because it's this moment.
Damn.
Like
Woo!
next year
There
is
it is.
next year is next year. It's not today. So if you wait 1 year, yeah, you're more prepared than 1 year before. But you can't redo what happened 1 year before, you know.
Damn, bro.
So people,
I needed to hear that. Legit. I needed to hear that to be like, yeah, like just do it. Just do it. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You're gonna learn even more if you actually make the mistake. Like, be encouraged to make mistakes. Get comfortable with making mistakes. Because yeah, now's the time. Are we really gonna wait another year? Like, no, there's no more waiting. There's no more waiting. Yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
just fucking go for it.
yeah. And as I said, you can try next year, but you know, next year will be anyways. But if you don't participate today, there's no room for another opportunity, because today is today. Tomorrow is gone. You can't do it. So so it's like, it makes no sense to me. If you really want to get better in battling, don't wait another year. Just try it out. If you lose early, it's okay. It's your first competition. Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
understandable.
yeah, it's no one is expecting you to beat them all 3-0
Yeah.
in your first competition. And first competition, uh, I got, one of the first, like one of the, I think I was the second in the pre-selection in terms of points,
Hey,
but then I lost first
hey.
round.
Oh shit.
But and against the pop
Damn.
and a popping dancer.
Damn, bro.
So,
Yeesh.
sometimes, and like, I lost against a popping dancer, and he was doing half of the rounds popping in a shuffle competition. The criteria, it wasn't like really much developed. So, he ended up winning, and I didn't care much about the moment. Of course, I wanted to win, but I was super nervous, like, really trying to do something outstanding instead of relaxing and dancing, as I know, doesn't
Yeah.
know how to. So with battling, you take the experiences, and of course, you could have done better. When you look in the past, you say, "Oh, I couldn't have done better." Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
With the information you have now, you know that you could have done things differently. But in this moment, you couldn't, because you were there and you tried. And if you don't try, you will get zero experience. You're delaying everything. All the process of learning, you're delaying it for years. So if a battle opportunity presents to you in your city, take it. Take it. Because what's the worst thing you can have if you don't like it? Okay, you tried something that you don't like, so you don't try it more. Okay, that's it. But if you're not trying, you don't know if it's something that is going to push you to a next level of dancing, or who you're finding something that you really like. So I always say that, like, for me, it's stupid. If you want to really battle, take all the opportunities. Like, don't wait to be right now. You always be a better dancer next year if you keep training. Like, you always be. Like, so take the opportunities today so you can enjoy the next ones at a higher level. No.
Yeah. I'd like to take that same concept and apply it to uh even just posting. I think we get so caught up with being the winner, with being a perfectionist, that we never start. We never start. We never, like like you said, like we never enter the battle because we're so focused on being perfect, on like we want to win. No, I'm gonna keep practicing because I want to win. I'm gonna keep practicing. I'm gonna keep practicing. I want to take that same concept and apply it to even just regular posting. I know because I've been there before. I would record 10 clips, and I'd be like so stuck. I'd be like, which one am I gonna upload? Which clip am I going to upload? I would just spend like a whole hour or 2 hours just thinking about which is my clip that I'm gonna upload. Sometimes you don't upload anything at all, right? Because we're just so caught up in being perfect, having perfect content, and yeah, I just want to take that same concept, just squash that, squash that mindset. Just post, bro. Like just post, just battle, just do it for fun. Like just do it like whatever. Just don't even think about the outcome, the results.
Mm-hmm.
Post it, post that video because I know there's a lot of people holding back. I know there's a lot of people right now that they got videos, but they're not posting because it's like social media. I want to post something that's gonna give me a lot of likes, give me a lot of comments, but like let's just let's just post to post, to have fun posting. Like right now, I'm like, uh, I got this idea from one of my new friends, Blissful B. She's from Arizona. She has a to-do list playlist in her Spotify. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I in my Spotify I made a to-do list playlist, and it's all these songs that I want to dance to, and I can't wait to dance to them. And I'm never gonna finish that to-do list if I'm so focused on making the perfect video to that song.
Mm-hmm.
Like my latest reel was like the crumping one. I was having that struggle. I was like, I really love this song, so I want to make like the best expression of this song. I just want to be like super technical with it. But if I had that goal in mind, I would have never made the video. I would have never posted it. I ended up posting. It was like a practice video. I ended up posting it, but it was something that I felt in that moment. So I posted it. People liked it. I was like, oh shit, okay, people like it. So you'll never know. You'll be surprised. You know, just post something. You'll be surprised with the reaction that you get. Shuffling, like the community is still very loving. Is still very welcoming. You know, you can post something, and some people will say some nice things. For the most part, you know. So just post. Just post. Just battle. Just post.
Okay. The next topic that I have here to talk with you, this is already being a long podcast, and I have two more topics to talk about, so it's going to get a little bit longer. So this is incredible, because we have a lot of cool things to talk about, and it's been great so far.
Yeah.
Okay,
super.
so now that you're talking about the content, I wanted to ask you about what do you think about the content creation right now, because there's people that aren't happy with some of the content that is putting out. Some people say that this content doesn't represent them or the movement. You can feel that some content doesn't represent you, but I know it doesn't represent the movement at all, some content. But it's people trying to post something, and if they don't try to, I think that the bad thing is that people just do one type of content. Like, you should be able to balance what you do and try to do things that maybe can get you more reach, and some other content that can make you invest or try to represent more what shuffle is in the essence of the shuffling. So what do you think about this topic? Because I see many people arguing back and forth about this, and this doesn't represent me. I don't like to people relate shuffle to these kind of videos. So what do you think about this?
Yeah. I see it too. I see it a lot. The common post, the common complaint that I see is that people saying that when you're talking to somebody new and you're like, yeah, I'm a shuffler, this is what I do, show them the video. Oh, you're a crosswalk dancer, you're one of those dancers that dances on the streets in the crosswalk. That's the complaint that I'm seeing right now. And it's like, unfortunately, there's not much we can do with what the with what's popular, with what's trending, what society has to think about. Bro, I just people can call me names or whatever. I'm still gonna be shuffling, bro. I don't care about what anybody thinks. That's what I'm trying to get here. Is that just stop thinking about what other people think about you, how other people see you, right? It's just a bunch of noise that I would love for all of us to cut off. Cause look, this new culture of creating content, making shuffle videos, but a little twist, a gimmick, a funny shuffle video, right? Like adding a different flavor of entertainment with shuffling. I think it's fine, dude. I had a little taste of it. And I had a lot of fun. Like I felt like a little kid again. Like it was like I felt like an actor, like an actual actor. Okay, I have to like play this character. I have to get it right, and yeah, just create a show. It's honestly, it's really fun. I don't hate on any of it. Um, Again, it's just like it's like the forever battle between like what's popular and what's underground,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's always going to be people that are like pro underground and then pro pop. And yeah, man, I like staying in the middle. I like best of both worlds. I'm just like I'm trying to get everybody to shuffle in one circle so we can
Mm-hmm.
all like learn from each other. That's like my next mission. I'm gonna get everybody together in
Mm-hmm.
one event and just see what happens. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about it. I love the new culture. I'm right now. I'm open to collabs. Like, if you have a creative idea, you want to go shuffle on some stairs. Like, I've never done that before. I don't know how that feels until I try it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
let's go
maybe
shuffle on some
instead of
stairs.
doing, the what everyone's doing, maybe you try to create something different in the stairs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. More ideas, more ideas. I'm like, yeah, let's go shuffle in a train. Like, let's
So
just
I,
just get creative. Let's get
mhm.
creative.
So I
Yeah,
think
I
like
like that. Get
people
creative.
should be more. Like, I think the big mistake that people who is doing the trends is doing, because me, for example, some months ago, I tried to post daily content every day. I had a different video, and also YouTube videos about things that how we filmed some videos. And man, it was so much work for one person, so much work,
Huh.
and I didn't want repetitive videos. So all the videos were different locations. You know, like when we were
Yeah,
filming that, we were filming a lot of videos back and forth, and no stop.
yeah.
And I posted one video per day for a month, and each video was different from each other. I think maybe one or two videos were like the same choreography but different spot.
Hey. Uh huh.
But freestyle mixed with choreographies. But like I feel that if I was watching, when I see my page, I see all the videos different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe there's
yeah.
simpler videos, like they don't feel me much in terms of creative, because or in terms of how good I freestyled or how's the choreo. But I think that what I see is that people is getting a little bit tired of the same videos all over again. Because when you
Mm,
see one video and you create this video 10 times, and you see this video 10 times throughout months or more times, like you start getting a little bit tired, because this happened to me. Like I got tired even if in creating different videos, because it wasn't my thing to create this type of
mm.
videos. I can create them sometimes, but I don't feel like I'm willing to be creating this kind of videos always. So I think that
Oh,
the people is getting a little bit tired of seeing the same videos all over again. You know.
yeah.
So obviously, if
Wow.
you don't like, as you said, the crosswalk dance, and
Man.
it misrepresents you, I understand that people is getting a little bit mad of saying, "Man, this doesn't represent me," and I don't like
Yeah.
being called a crosswalk dancer when I'm at a festival or when I'm in a club. So, but as we said before, do we let what people think affect us?
It's just like it's just it's just like being conscious of it. Like it's just like respecting everybody's journey and growth about like how they find shuffling. So right now, you have a lot of new people finding shuffling from viral videos. That's how they find out about it. How I found out about shuffling was, yeah, viral video too, but it was like in YouTube,
The underground videos.
hardstyle, right? Like Francis, like I found Francis, I found Moonboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's just about respecting that, like being like, oh, okay, so that's how you found out about shuffling through the crosswalk videos. Okay, it's actually way simpler. It could be way simpler than we think, man. Like, uh, again, it's just the whole nature of trends of pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Shuffling is always going to be a trend, right? Because there was one point where it was like, oh, so you do that LMFAO thing, right? You're an LMFAO dancer, right? So that's what I'm saying. I was like, I already been through that already.
Mm-hmm.
I already been through people like making fun of me because I'm doing something that they only saw came from LMFAO shuffle, music video, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they found it from. You know what I mean? I didn't get. I mean, obviously, I got mad a little bit, but like again, it's just respecting. Like, okay, that's how you found it. Whatever. I have my own history of how I found it, and like, and yeah, it was LMFAO, and then now it's crosswalk, and then give it like 1 or 2 more years, there's gonna be another thing, another like genesis for
Mm-hmm.
like pop
Yeah,
culture.
I think
You know.
that when when you think that when people relate shuffling to something, maybe if maybe you can think maybe there is only this thing being popular or getting to the people, you know. So you want the shuffle to be known as, a rave dance, a club dance, people to know what the shuffling is, to know the steps. Maybe you can work on more professional things to make the shuffle known as a dance and not just as crosswalk dance or a viral dance, which, as you said, shuffle has in the very beginning, shuffle has gone viral many times, and with every social media that comes out, a new boom for shuffling is awaiting because then shuffle videos start boom going super viral. Shuffling in the YouTube era, it was going side to side with hard music, and this was the shuffling. People who know the shuffling from a viral video would see that, and right now people is seeing, you know, other type of videos. In 2011, it was LMFAO. So it's just, if we want people to get the reference of what shuffle is, we should be working on things so people can relate to and say, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I see the crosswalks, but yeah, I see events. I see like like when I go in the streets, I see like a huge meetup of big speakers, a
Yeah.
DJ, and see people shuffling. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I know it's just
That part.
invest in the things that you want people to get the shuffle known by, and people can start
Yeah.
relating. Like, you can't expect, like, it's very difficult to, if you don't like these videos, to fight against millions of views like this. So it's hard. Even if we don't like it,
Yeah.
it's hard. So we need to invest in this kind of things so people can relate shuffle to other things. And if, for example, if I go to a festival and I say, yeah, I do shuffle, and people say, oh, like the videos, and I say, yeah, this is shuffling too. So, like, yeah, it's a shuffling too, but I do other things, like, like if there's something is if this is something about a person that I met in a club or in a festival or in the street. If this person is not going, if I don't going to see this person anytime in my life, why do I care about if he thinks that shuffle is crosswalk or not? If he's really interested or she's really interested, and she starts digging deep into style, this person will see that it's not just this. It's just we give it so much importance, and we need to be willing to put the hours and the work in the other things. So this is the end of the dramas, you know. That's why I don't take part in big dramas, because I just think like this and put in the work and that's it, and everybody be happy.
Because perspective, man. Perspective. Literally, like, that's what this whole podcast has been about too. Is like comparing your perspective with other people's perspectives. And like anything in anything, like that is always gonna bring conflict. Like this is like the major conflict within the world is, you know, us dealing with other people's perspectives. Look, I want to make a quick comparison with like crumping. They're like 20 years in the game. If you were to ask somebody that's all about pop culture, hey, what's crump? They're probably just gonna tell you either like this, right?
Yeah,
Or right, crazy movements.
yeah. They
That's
see
their
crazy.
perspective of crump, right? Okay, let me show you another perspective. Now, like in general, just dancers. Like if you're a dancer, if you're a pop blocker, I mean, if you're a popper,
Yeah, the
if
robot.
you're a b-boy, if you're a shuffler, if you're a electro dancer, what's crumping? Now, because crumpers, they made the effort, they worked their way up, they entered the dance scene, they entered all style battles. Now they're not gonna say, oh, this is crump. They're gonna be like, yo, no, yeah, crump is like, yo, crump is super technical. It's a dance that's like storytelling. It has a lot of energy, but it's like controlled energy.
Hmm.
You feel me? Perspective. So I think if we want to make our way up there, like you said, we need to have more shuffle events, have more shuffle meetups. We need to get out there into the world, stop shuffling in our garages, start shuffling in more public places, and show people the real raw shuffles. We just have to show them. We just have to show them the real thing. Like, you know, I think that, yeah, that's a good way, a good goal for us right now. You guys in Spain, you guys have already been doing this, right? Like make more friends that are dancers of other styles, right? 'Cause now they are educated on what shuffling is, and I think that's like the most important thing
Hmm.
is like if another dance style community knows what shuffling is, like then you're good. It's like enter the dance world for sure. You guys have been doing it. Super props to you guys for
Hmm.
being able to blend like electro dance, hip hop freestylers. Like you guys are like making friends with those guys, and your shuffling even looks like fused with those concepts. I think you guys are doing it right. That's what everybody needs to do is
Yeah, it's a long process
enter the
though,
scene.
but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. So it's just when you start being, work with people from other styles and try to just not ask them things, but like make them being interested in learning about shuffling, like not willing to go to classes maybe or all these things, but asking, but what's shuffle about? Because I see like many in social media there's a lot of shuffle, but I don't really know what shuffle is. And there's your room
Woo.
to explain it to them, and you can start, okay, but shuffling comes from here and it's like this. So that's why always, if you have a contact with other dancers from other styles, you need to know the story and what's shuffling, and don't like spread wrong the message of what's really the shuffling. Because here, when you talk with these people, this is the most important part of spreading the message, because this will earn you the respect and knowledge of what shuffling is from other dancers. You know, when right now, some years ago, it was very difficult to see shuffle dancers in all styles having a chance to win not a tournament, the all styles tournament, but a battle, just a single battle of all styles. And I think right now, in Spain at least, I think that no one beat another style dancer with just shuffle, just shuffle. I think it hasn't happened yet, but
I want to
now,
see that. I want to see
but
that.
right now, I think that the moment is really near, for this to
Hey,
happen.
hey,
So imagine,
hell yeah.
having a hip hop dancer, or you won't be able to beat top all style dancers with shuffling. It's pretty difficult right now, but you
We
know,
can find a way.
yeah, but
We
like
can find a way.
facing another
We just need
style,
to show up.
with, and then you just shuffling and being close to beat this person, people in the venue and in the tournament will say, okay, this guy is doing another style and he seems pretty right dancing, has sense, he builds up good around, he has the
Yeah.
concepts, he has good things. So people maybe start to see you as a dancer to take into account in tournaments. And then if you are, in the streets and people see you, oh, you're the shuffler, yeah. And but you need to be willing and put the work and be there and be
Damn.
there. So
Be there.
as you said, this is the important thing. People who doesn't have any knowledge about dancing will never get to understand really what dance is, no matter the style. But you can
There
get
you go.
you can
There you
get
go.
to be acknowledged by other dance styles, and I think this is the most important thing, because then in other tournaments, people from crump, hip hop, breakdance, popping, electro, whatever, they can start having, okay, electro competition, and let's put a line of shuffle, you
There
know,
you go.
and
Uh, uh,
and we had electro here in Barcelona, electro organizers of competitions who were having a shuffle line and also an all styles line. So
nice.
we started like having a room in
Yeah.
in the in between the other dances. So I
Nice.
think that's why battling is good, because you you start
Yeah.
drawing the attention of the people and saying, okay, shuffle competition. What is shuffle? Maybe I can go see, or all these things, man. It's just start being there and shuffle to the people like the right way and the way you believe it has to be shown. I know. It's just you need to put in a lot of work. It's just that.
Just that. Be there.
Yeah.
Just show up. Just show up. Even if we don't actually participate in the event, in the all styles battle, just show up as a fan. Just show up as a fan and like talk to the people next to you. Like that's all we need to enter the next level in the USA or whatever. Is just making friends with other dancers of other dance styles. So we don't even have to like participate in the all style battle. Just show up to the event, say hi to some new people, and then you're already plugged in. Boom, your new friend is like, hey, we got a whacking, we got a Vogue session this Friday. Come through. Boom, already plugged in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta show up,
Yeah.
be there, be there.
Okay, last topic of the podcast, and then we'll go with the two final questions that I always have in the podcast. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about, teaching tournaments, making money. So I want to end the podcast talking about shuffle as a professional career, about
Mm,
how can we, now it's starting to be possible to choose shuffle as a career, but we need to have a lot of things in mind, and be aware of the possibilities that we have and we can take. So I see you as a pro of shuffle, of choosing shuffle as a career and believing in and investing in this path. So what do you think and what do you see like shuffle career be like in the next years?
So again, I'm gonna go back to like the two easiest and most guaranteed ways you can make a career of shuffling: teaching and performing.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt, you will not go wrong if you choose that path. If you choose that path, you are gonna make some money, right? If you're prepared, if you do everything that you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
you will make money. But we live in a really fascinating time where you can make money from anything, like by being a YouTuber, right? That's residual income. Like that's money that you make from YouTube, from the ads. Making a shuffle podcast. We need some more podcasts like my boy Marbiik, right? There's ways to get paid by having a podcast. I've gotten paid with shuffling in like more than 5 ways. I've just recently too, like every now and then I get paid to shuffle to promote a DJ's track.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that might be like not even as a career, but like if you want to start to feel like how it feels to get paid from shuffling, go for that. Just like have it in your bio. Like serious DJs message me for promo. And see who's gonna message you, right? With every video that you make, start tagging the DJs. You'll be surprised what DJs are gonna message you, especially the underground DJs. The underground DJs have very low following, but like yeah, they respond to you, and then they're more willing to work with you actually. So, boom, start doing that. Best believe pretty soon you're gonna get a gig where it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna shuffle to your track for like this amount of dollars, and yeah, it's gonna be like a regular post, something that you always do, but
Mm-hmm.
like you're gonna get that gig because your posts, you get a certain amount of likes, a certain amount of views,
Or
and
because
that's just something.
you're known
Yeah.
as a reputed dancer, and
Hmm.
they know that if you influentiate people to use this song, for example, this can also be maybe you don't have a lot of case in followers, but you say, man,
Hmm.
I'm a like most of the people in shuffling follow me and they see my videos. If I post a video with this song, probably a lot of people will dance to this song too, and this is more spreading. So you can also have
Yeah.
this in mind. It's not just your followers. It's who follows you too.
Yeah. Who follows you too? No, yeah, man, you'll be surprised. You don't even be discouraged about like how many followers you have. You'll be surprised. I don't have a big following, but I keep getting these gigs like every once in a while. Not consistent, but once in a while, I'll get a gig. Hey, shuffle to my track. I was like, okay, is this a paid gig or no? I was like, okay, yeah, I have a budget. All right, cool, let's do this. It definitely, if you want to enter a shuffle career, you have to enter that mindset of like your shuffling is now your business. So make sure on your profile you keep it really nice and presentable. Don't post too many like funny memes or sexual memes, right? Like have a professional manner. You will get those gigs. Um, there, what other ways? There's just an incredible amount of ways. Nowadays, people get paid like through donations, right? You just set up you set up a Twitch or even through Facebook Live. I think you can send donations now. I see people on the internet with a kalimba. I have a kalimba, right? A little musical instrument. You know, they're just gonna go live. They go live stream on Facebook. Ding, 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 ding. They make little songs. They play for an hour, and they get hella donations, bro. On Reddit. On Reddit, go search Reddit. Reddit Live. You know, kalimba. Even rappers. You know, right now is a very interesting time. Everything is online. You have more opportunity to make money from online uh, services, and performing is super big right now. Yeah, just rap, literally. So take that, right, bro. Just start shuffling like live streams, and yeah, it's not gonna work for everybody, but best believe it's gonna work for some people. Like we just have to like switch that mindset that like don't be afraid to make shuffle money, or don't feel guilty to make shuffle money, because dance in general is a career for thousands and thousands of people. Dance is a profession. People literally get like a master's degree in dance, a PhD in dance. You feel me? So there should be no reason that we should like shame people for pursuing shuffling as a career or something more, because shuffling is dancing. That's my argument right there. Like you know, we can't get mad at people making money off of shuffling, because like obviously it has so much to offer, so much to offer people: community, confidence, happiness, uh, right, strength, like fitness. Fitness is a big thing right now, right? Right now it's really big marketing your shuffling services with fitness, because it those like those worlds collide together, because shuffling isn't exactly like an easy task. Like it gets you sweating faster. I would always say that, like, because I used to run cross country and I used to run track and field, and I would tell my coach, I would tell my friends, like, yo, I actually start sweating faster from shuffling than I do running.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me 1 minute of shuffling to be sweating already. And then with running, it's like, you know, by the third mile, I'll start to sweat. Like, you feel me? Like, shuffling is freaking intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really just gotta, the sooner we start seeing the value, like how valuable we are as shufflers, and that's when your career is gonna take off, when you see your value and what you have to offer to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for sure, performing and teaching, there's so many ways to make money off of
there's so
shuffling,
many.
but like performing and teaching, those are the ways.
Yeah, these two, those two are the most direct ways that you can, you know, make money in short term, because you do that and you get paid.
Yeah.
So, you know,
community events, you know, community workshops. There's always community events in your city. So you either perform at a community event, farmers market, or you teach a class, a pop-up workshop at a community event, an event by the city. You feel me? Corporate gigs. We have people like, I always give props to like New Empire Shufflers, right? Ness from New York. They would get gigs, like they worked with those, like the headphone company, like the audio company. They've performed for Bose. They've performed for I don't know who else. Stuff like that. Getting featured in music videos. You know, music videos. Maybe sometimes in LA, but maybe somewhere else, you get money for being in the music video. You know, it's like, yeah, it's definitely possible. All you have to do is just start. And it's like with anything, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not gonna get that stable income your first month. I mean, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. You play it right, you plan and organize everything, you have a whole income for your month. But sometimes it's like a gradual, it's a snowball effect. You
Yeah.
take one gig, you take one gig, and then from that gig, you get two more people interested in hiring you, and then so on and so forth. It's just little by little. You build a clientele base, you
Mm-hmm.
get more clients, more gigs, more opportunities, and next thing you know, it's like your schedule, your whole calendar is
It's full.
filled with shuffle gigs or opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen,
Yeah, as you
no doubt.
mentioned, there's a lot of ways of making money in shuffling. I see that the more people can have shuffle as a career, the more the movement will grow because these people will
Yeah.
be able to put their full time into the movement. Maybe there's people who
Yeah.
has already a work and cannot dedicate that much time into shuffling. So these people who are starting to make a living with shuffling, these people will be able to invest their full time in the movement if they're really interested in the movement. If they're not, they won't. But like people need to realize that when they're paying for a class or paying for whatever, going to a festival and there's dancers there, like these people is is thanks to this money, they are being able to dedicate a time that you don't have to the movement and to
Oh,
create
yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
to
yeah.
create this. So you're not just paying the service, you're paying so you can have more things, more events in shuffling. So, you know, like for getting to the point where you get the money, you need to give up on a lot of things. I was talking with Rebel about this last podcast, and man, you need to give up a lot of things.
Mm,
Meeting with friends, meeting with family.
yeah.
Uh, you can't spend that much money in other things because maybe your earnings are low, and you need to keep these earnings for investing in things that can produce you more earnings in shuffling or in
Yeah.
or just saving up because maybe there's other months that you can't get enough income. So it's a really tough way to start making a career out of shuffling, and even more in this stage right now it's starting to be possible. Like right now you see the way and you see the feedback of the market, but some years ago it was almost impossible to make a living out of shuffling because there was no
Yeah.
demand. Was not very known. It wasn't that professional, and it hadn't appeared that much times in music videos or festivals and all these things. So I think right now it's a little sweet moment. It's a really sweet moment to push in this direction, but you also need to know that you need to be knowing where are you pushing, because
Yeah.
I see in Spain a lot of
Focus.
dancers that they say, okay, maybe like when I say I want to be a dancer and have dance as a career, like they don't understand the dance, like they don't know what is feeling. But man, these people may not understand the dance, but they know about that you need to make money at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
people who isn't really into teaching or not into doing shows and just into dancing and practicing, yeah, okay, it's beautiful that you want to dedicate your life to dance, but what are you really doing to make a living out of dancing? Just dancing,
Yeah.
just dancing, it won't get you anywhere. If you need to have to really be a really top dancer to just dance and be called to judge competitions and do workshops, and you don't worry about anything else, you just worry on dancing. But you need to be really 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 good. And this thing is for really, it's not for much people, and it doesn't exist, this world where you can be judged in shuffle. You can be called as a judge and be in 1 month in 2 different competitions, each month 2 different competitions, and judge and workshop, that you get enough income because your cachet is really high. This doesn't exist in shuffle yet. So you can't be willing to make a living out of shuffling just by dancing. Like, you need to have a plan. You need to do to
Yeah.
start working on things that can have some income and feedback. So I really encourage people to be realistic and see what things you can really do. Because, for example, I have some people, near me, family members or friends, now less because they see the path that I'm taking and the focus that I have. But back in the days, a lot of them were telling me, "Man, you're in the clouds, you're in the moon, like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
flying, like you need to have your feet on the ground and you need to be realistic." And I was saying, like, I'm one of the like I'm one of the most committed shufflers that I know, along to shufflers and these people. And we're taking shuffle to a level, and we are organizing a lot of competitions and classes. So maybe now this there isn't many demand, but in some years when people start to see and people wants that, we will be the people that that the shufflers will say, okay, organize a competition here, or can you give us a workshop? Or if we don't do this now, this moment will never exist.
Damn.
Because
Yeah.
like, we had to go through doing all of
Vision,
that and
man.
getting all the experience with such a low income and rejecting to other jobs so we can invest in the shuffling. But I was having this mindset. Like, I see people that doesn't have a plan, or don't see in 5 years what will be they doing. So
Yeah.
shuffling as a career is something possible, but you need to see what are you going to do and what are you willing to do. Because if you want shuffle as a career, there there's nothing but work that is awaiting.
Yeah.
It's just
Like any
work.
other job, you're gonna have to like sweat. You're gonna have to sweat. You're gonna have to cry about it, make mistakes, and just go through the whole process of making it a career, like any other career you would. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I want to make two quick points. Because sometimes you're just forced. Like life forces you to be like, okay, you need to think about something else. Like you need to try something new because you need to get out of the situation that you're in. Like there's times where I was forced to make shuffle money. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta think of something really quick to make some money, and and boom, I did it. Like having that push, I think is necessary from life, and that having that confidence, being like, okay, I'm just gonna try this out. I'm gonna see if it works. You know, I think how you're talking about being grounded. I think like people like us, like visionaries, people that have the vision, have the imagination. Like we don't get a lot of credit, but I feel like that's how you should start off. You get inspired. You're like, wow, the possibilities of
Mhm.
the things that I can do with shuffling. Like, wow, it really is amazing. You write it down, all the ideas that you have, write all the ideas in your notes, and then on a different paper, be like, okay, but what is possible today? Like, what can I happen? What can I do today? What kind of results can I get today?
Mhm.
I think that's like the balance that you should strive for.
Mhm.
Because I've been there many times where I only had the vision, always writing ideas on my notes, always planning, but I never like took action.
Yeah.
In but yeah,
So I
and
think
then the
that,
last note,
yeah.
um, just a last very very quick note is that yo, like shuffle money, it can be good, it can be really great, it can be it's like for those of us that like we have like minimum wage jobs, we don't get paid that much. Know that it is an option for you to get paid better with shuffling. Think about it. All right, teaching and performing. Teaching, all I need to do is get 20 students, $5 a piece. That's $100 in 1 hour, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People make $15 to $20 in 1 hour in a regular job. So know that, like, yo, if you play it right, if you organize, if you schedule, every Friday I'm gonna have a 1 hour class. It's gonna be 20 students, $5. Boom, that's already 100, 100, 100, 100, and that's just one day out of the week.
One
Like,
day, no,
if you
1 hour.
one day, 1 hour. If you start doing the math, then it's more logical. Then it's like you're more grounded when you start doing the math. You're like, wait, hold up, dad, hold up, mom. It's like the numbers are telling me something different. Like the numbers are telling me that yo, shuffling is gonna be my job ASAP.
It
Like if you
should
play
be.
it
It
right.
should be.
Yeah, if you play it right, play it consistent, make mistakes, learn from them, you're gonna make shuffling your career. The same thing goes with performing. Let's just say, like, I don't know the average, but like let's just say, yeah, you just perform where there let's say it's like you get paid 1 hour to perform back to back with breaks. And let's, because bro, like performers, they get paid. They get paid good. Uh, Obviously, it depends on which organization you're getting hired from. But best believe in 1 hour, the same thing. 1 hour performing shuffling, you're gonna get paid $100. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth pursuing shuffling
Yeah, you need to do it
as a career.
progressively. So when you start seeing that you can make something out of shuffling, so until when I started investing in the shuffling and learning and organizing competition and all these things, like I was studying, my, I think it's in English it's called like vocational school, when you learn something like profession, like the profession of
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So I was studying in the vocational school, and I was doing shuffle things, and it wasn't until I stopped, like I finished the school, I said, okay, maybe I will give it a try. I will try to invest everything, because I was just finished the school, like I was 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. So, and now I'm 22. So this is really recent. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do that, because I had tours. Like we were starting to organize the tours. I needed time to prep and to travel and all these things. But it was like everything out of from our pocket, and we were, losing money in all these trips. But like the experience we were getting, man, that's unpayable. Like you can lose whatever money you want, but this experience, like
Wow.
when you start,
I
almost
bet.
almost all the tours we did, we lost money in almost, not all, but in the in the first ones, when we went to Latin America, we lost money there. It's big trip, a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah.
to that need to be paid. But man,
Again,
right now,
chasing the dream.
but
Chasing the dream.
yeah, but after doing that, you say, okay, maybe I lost in total, I don't know, 1,000. I don't know. It's not that much in total, maybe, but you say, okay, how many people has this experience? Having toured all your country, have toured Latin America. I also went to Russia to teach my own workshop. I said, okay, workshop in Russia. let's go. I talked with people. Figured out how to, book the venue, the studio, so I can do the class and everything. So I said, okay, maybe I don't
Wow.
make much money out of it because there it has a lot of expenses, but the experience that you get, say, how many people has this vast experience in teaching and
Yeah,
traveling and
bro.
all, and say, man, when you do, when the movement grows, you will be one of the most experienced, and maybe this is years is years away from today, but if you work your way and you see here, like, maybe I wasn't getting like uh, a short-term income or feedback to make a living just by myself, but I was feeling and I was watching that what I was creating and what we were gaining was a lot of experience and a lot of power to do whatever we wanted in the future. So I'm like, so I was seeing that, and it was progressive. So because
Yeah.
there was a time that I in the vocational school I was studying audiovisuals, sound, and in my outside I was also working on video. So I know about filmmaking, I know about editing videos, I know about coloring videos, I know about all these things. So we were working with Shuflis for some businesses, doing shooting them videos and all these things while we were working on the shuffle. And there was a time when, well, Shuflis keeps doing video, but because he's more into video than me, like working for other people. Like I don't like to
Yeah.
work for videos for other people that much. I
Yeah.
prefer to shoot videos for my projects and just for
Yeah. Yeah.
myself. So is like it was progressive, and I was looking to make money from other ways that just shuffling, because shuffling wasn't giving me that much. And yeah, maybe I could have been in a job winning, $1,000 per month or whatever, but I chose that so I can have the experience. Like I struggled really much. Like I've been in my early 20s. I'm still in my early 20s, but I've been so young without much money or making like big trips. Like I did big trips, but maybe it was many months saving money and then doing the Latin America, and I'm losing money. But yeah, man, I've done that. Like
Yeah.
I don't
You
care.
can say that. You can say that.
Yeah, and well, I've been working since very young. I started working when I was 15,
Oh wow.
and I started working. I was a soccer referee, so
Oh what?
a soccer referee.
Oh, a soccer referee. What the
Yeah.
heck? That's good.
So like very young, I experienced making money and spending it very young. So I valued how how important it is to invest the money wisely, because when I stopped
Uh,
working, I said, okay, I have more income, and how much money do I have? I spend it almost everything in things and other things. So I was like, I would like to have more money now to invest it in shuffling. So if like you need to invest in this, you need to invest in shuffling and keep the money
invest.
going there.
Take
Because
risk.
if you really want to make a career out of shuffling, you need to invest everything there. Of course, if you're living by yourself, you need to pay your expenses and your bills and all these things. But the other, you need to everything into shuffling. If not, there's not there's an angel, there is not an angel coming to you and saying, man, you're chosen, let's go shuffling.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
need
yeah,
to put in the work and the money there and keep investing
yeah.
so you can make more out of shuffling. So it's a very tough path. It's not all happiness. You need to put a lot of hours, and mentally
Yeah.
you need to be very strong and very aware of what's happening. When people was saying me, you need to have your feet on the ground and be and my thought was, yeah, I'm being so I'm being with my feet on the ground, because I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing and I know what I'm
Yeah.
heading. So when people gets angry about, they tell you, you can't make a career out of dancing, or and you get angry. You get angry because you don't have a plan and you know that they're right. But if you have a plan, you won't get angry. You just put in the work. So
Ooh,
so like you need
damn.
to realize that like you need to have this plan. And if someone tells you something, if you have this plan and you know and you believe, it's not just about believing but knowing that it makes sense. Like if you get, you know, if someone tells you that and you said, maybe you get like angry, or some you know, from a family member, and you say, oof, it's hard for me, for someone from my family to tell me that, but I know my plan, and I know they don't need to understand my plan.
Yeah,
I do, because I'm the one that has to do the work.
have faith in
So let's
yourself.
stick to the plan and put the work and the hours here. So this is what helped me to keep my journey in shuffling and in my projects, because I was always, when someone told me anything or the environment was bad, I just was going to my plan and working and being there, you know,
Nice.
in my little bubble, and saying, work here,
Yeah,
work
yeah,
here, work
yeah,
here,
yeah.
work here. You believe in that, and you know this is going to work, and it will pay off.
Bro,
So this is
that,
this is what keeps people in the path of making shuffle as a career. Like, it's not easy, but
bro.
it's worth it, I think. Like, you need to have a lot of mental strength.
Yeah, no, much respect to you, man. That that's self-love right there. Basically being able to like have faith in yourself, believe in yourself no matter what. That's hella self-love. And that's I feel like that's always been like my problem, right? Like why sometimes like I didn't take the leap, why I didn't like pursue something cuz I kept listening. I kept listening to other people's opinions even though I saw the vision, right? I saw that it was possible, but I just kept listening to a lot of people for a long time. So I, bro, I hella admire that. That's self love. That is strength. That is strength to have that bubble, be in that bubble, and not let it pop, right? Because you know, dude, it's like your truth. You know you're gonna make it. That's all that matters. Oh man. So yeah, man. I hope whoever sees this, man, just know that you're onto something. You have the vision. Like Marbiik said, fucking make the plan. Make the plan though, right? That was super powerful. It's like, yo, you're not gonna get upset about what anybody says if you have the plan written down. You have the steps. Like, no, no, dude, trust. I'm gonna do this, and then that's gonna lead to this, and then this, and then
Yeah,
this. So it's like,
and you don't even need to explain them,
you
you
don't
know.
need this. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and sometimes I found that it's better to don't explain what you're going to do and just do it.
Oh,
So it's just,
oh,
so you
that
know.
part.
Man, like right now,
Damn,
because your reactions, like I feel like I'm saying, you know, like speaking like vast facts and these things, but for me it's just the day to day thinking
ah,
I learned that
yeah,
I need to have, you know.
yeah, no, no, no. I'm hella like that's something that I need to hear. I know like a lot of people need to hear that as well. It's like, woo. It's good. It's good. I'm pumped up now. It's like, okay, all right.
Okay, so now that you're
Keep
pumped
dancing.
up,
That's more.
let's do the last thing of the podcast. It's been right now more than 3 hours, man. Like, it's amazing. Like,
Shut up.
yeah,
No way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you know, like this
You
been
gotta
for
be
me
kidding.
like half an hour. It's been like half an hour for me. Okay,
No, yeah, it feels like okay. It feels like an hour and a half.
yeah.
Oh
Okay,
God.
last thing of the podcast. I always um, I have two questions. One is for you,
Mm.
the first one, and something, and is something that you want to share with the audience and the listeners of the Shuffle podcast, something that you learned recently. It can be, some mindset, some step, or something about shuffling that you noticed, DJ that you love the sound of, anything that you would like to share with the community. Like, this is the moment.
Mm,
Something that you find really valuable for you, that you just recently learned.
yeah. Well, it's more like I keep diving deeper into this concept of like it's okay it's okay to be selfish. Like there's an appropriate level of selfishness, right? Where it's not really selfishness, it's self-care, you know. And that's how I'm finding clarity. What do I really want? And at first, like sometimes it might seem like, damn, really? Like that's selfish. Like really? Like, you start judging yourself for what you really want, but that's what you really want. That's you. That's authentically you. So I would say just listen, like, before you start a new project, before you start a new project within shuffling, because it's possible, whatever. Just really think about, like, is this really gonna benefit you? Is this gonna make you happy? Is this gonna keep you passionate and drive, like, determined? You know, like what is it that you really want? Like bullshit aside, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you find that out, everything is so much more clear. You have a direction and you have the determination. You keep going. You keep going. That's kind of like that's where I'm at right now. I'm like I'm just like letting go of like what's expected of me, uh, or what I expect from myself. And I'm just being honest. I'm like, yo, you know what? I literally, like, all I want to do, I just want to shuffle, and I just want to shuffle for me. Like, I just want to enjoy being in that moment, every day if I can. And I think, yeah, I think that all comes down to performing. I really just want to perform more because that's when I'm free. I'm in the flow state. Everything is easy. It just
Mm-hmm.
naturally in the moment. So I'm like, okay, all right. I gotta be selfish. I gotta be like, I gotta go for that. I gotta go for what I really want. And
Yeah, I don't care about
just like,
anything else.
yeah, yeah. And like, it's like, if I do that, I'm still gonna be doing a service to others, like, because I'm gonna be leading by example. If I do that, then somebody else is gonna see that and be like, it's possible, so I'm gonna do it too. Like that. It's gonna cause a ripple effect,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's time. And all it ever took was confidence, right? It's because, man, I've been so insecure for the longest time. It don't matter how many times somebody tells me, dude, you're sick. Oh, you're one of my top 10 favorite shufflers. It doesn't matter how many times somebody says that, until that I see for myself that, like, yo, I can do it. I can do it. So like right now I'm finally there where I'm like, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start hitting up events or like studio spaces or go to the all style battles. I'm just gonna show up, be there.
I,
Yeah.
I
So
don't
I would
think
just say that.
I need to add anything to this. I think
Hey.
it's pretty good what you just said. So take it into account. Be a little bit selfish. Well, it's not. It's just take care of you and be
Yeah,
aware
take
of
care of
what do you want, and that's it. No, not much more. Okay, last thing. Last question is not for you. So right now you are able to ask me whatever you want. So this is the last thing. I've been always bringing the topic, asking you whatever thing I had
yeah.
here on the list. So right now, if everything anything you want to ask me, so feel free to do that right now.
Okay, let's go.
I'm getting
Let's
ready.
go. I already know. I'm like, all right. So, I mean, I don't know if it's too generic, but just like, yeah, like, I'm very curious because it seems like you have it figured out. You feel me? You're somebody that like you're focused on what you want and you'll do whatever it takes to get there. So I'm just like, okay, so like where are you going? Like where where do you see yourself? Where is future Marcos right now? Like in a year? In a year, 5 years? Like well, yeah. What is he doing right now?
So right now, as we talked off cameras, I'm I'm pretty much planning for going into the US, and it's because I don't know, I see the plans that I have. I think that the US would be a great place to have like the everything, like the main thing happening, and then I can travel around and do all the things wherever I want. You know, moving to the US is a long process because you need to have a green card. If not, you need to be going on and off. So I know everything I have to do. I'm working on it. So what I
Wow.
see specifically in shuffling, I I see myself. You know, I think that I'm capable of creating one of the best or one of the best academies of shuffle all over the world,
Hey.
and you know, not just having me, but you know, being having the capacity of select other teachers too, and you know, like have
Wow.
a shuffle studio, which is not just a reference in shuffling, but a reference in all these styles of dancing, you know, and and this is also like my part of teaching to the people everything I know or everything that I think other teachers can bring to the people, and not just teaching but the experience of the classes, because you know you can take classes with different teachers. Someone will like the classes, the dynamics, some others you won't like them. So I really want to create not just the not about the content, but about the experience that you live,
Wow.
you know, in the studio. You know, so I'm really focused
Yeah.
on
The vibe.
and trying to you know, I'm testing a lot of things in the classes so I can find what the people engage more with. So
Yeah.
I want to you know, like have learning shuffle not just learning a dance, but as an experience for the people,
Wow.
so they can so they can find the joy in labbing, the joy in, oh man, okay, now I can do this and this other thing and try it out, and you know, have a place where you can have loud music and let the music get to you, and like this is the perfect environment for learning. And I want to create that for the, because in Barcelona we had it in the studio that we had,
Yeah.
so I want to bring this to all the to all the people I can, in a different format obviously because this was an open studio. But you know, I want to have like this this big academy. I don't know if in the future I will be able to, you know, open more, I know it's soccer cells, or I don't know the name in English, more academies with the same
Yeah.
brand in other countries or in other places, and having
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
people managing this. And I also would like to have my own competition brand, and
Ooh.
have like create a big event that is well known, well respected by the shufflers,
Nice.
like like a prestigious event, like not an event. Okay, yeah, we
Yeah.
go there. No, so when this event happens, it's an important event. People travels from other
Yeah.
countries to come to this event, and
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the the experience is great, of just from the one who just goes to see the show, to see the competition, until the one that is participating, the judges, the crew working on the event, everyone. Like, this is also like everything to me. Shuffle, it doesn't have to be a dance. Shuffle has to be an experience. Like, this is why you will keep shuffling, because you like the dance, you and yourself. But if you have experiences that make people thrive, this is what people loves, and this is what people wants to have in the community. Like, if there's places like this, why people would stop dancing shuffle if they have these events and these classes, and
Ooh.
you know you can bring
Ooh.
all of this experience concept to everything you want. You can do meetups, you can organize parties, you can rent a, a club and do a shuffle party, and have like everything. You can make an experience out of many things. You just need to focus on the order, and see what things can will allow you to unlock the capability
Man.
of doing the others. So that's why it's very important to have a plan in mind. And I see myself like this is more like the future. In the one to
Yeah.
five year in 1 to 5 years, I don't know yet, because I don't know this process of moving to the US. How long can it take? Because the green card is a lottery, and you won it, or you don't, you win it, or you don't win it. So it's a little bit of
Damn.
luck involved. So in the short term, I don't know. I will keep working here in Spain and traveling to the US and other
Building.
countries meanwhile.
Yeah.
But as soon as I can, I will be there. I want to be there, and
Wow.
start all these things. And like, this is just you know because I want to do this because this is the things that I want.
Yeah.
Like, as you said, I'm being selfish here, because I'm organizing
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things because I love these things.
Yeah.
I love to be in these classes. I love to be in these events. So if I love this and I know the insights that I want, I can do it for the people. But because I know what I want and what I like to be in shuffling. And I I let this mindset guide me, so to the things that I have to do. So I know I won't be wrong about doing the things that I want to do, but because it's the things that I would like to have, and because I'm a really uh, passionate shuffler, and I'm in the shuffle community for 7 years now. And I know the insights. I know what people want, and not because I know, but because I talk with them. I see what they think. I
Mhm.
hear what they have to say after an event, and I see what people really want. And people don't want shuffle to be just crosswalk dance. People want to have
Yeah.
events. People want to have all these things. So that's why I'm not worried in by this matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I also have my personal goals, which is be qualify really good in other competitions.
Hey.
Be a known dancer. Not because just the things that I can organize, but because the skills develop that I can get. So it's just I need to work really much on the projects, on the entrepreneurial path, and I also need to work on the creative and evolve the dance path.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I also struggle to balance these two because
Balance.
I'm
Yeah.
usually doing more one than the other or the other way, depends on the year. But I need to try to find the balance, and the balance
Yeah.
you can find it through a routine, because you have
Yeah.
this routine.
Schedule.
Yeah.
Schedule. Yeah. Planning.
So that's
Just
pretty
planning your
much how I
schedule.
see my future in shuffling.
No, dude, that was like such a pure vision, such a pure and wholesome vision. Like just you talking about how you want to create an experience, create a moment. Oh man, I needed to hear that. Yeah,
This is
because that's
actually
just
what.
that's
Yeah.
authentic.
Hmm.
That's authentic. It's just like yeah, just creating a memory
Hmm.
that is gonna last in somebody's head and in their heart.
Starting
Shit.
tournaments and battles is what made me realize the importance of this, because after doing the tournaments we started to see that people was having the best day of their lives, or
Oh
the year. So
yeah.
I was feeling like I need to
Damn,
do this
bro.
more. After the showcase league, people who was there know that. But after the tournament, when the winner was selected, you see everybody jumping in the middle, but everybody like, oof, man, I'm on chills explaining this, but after this, I was watching everyone, and I'm with Chuflis, and I'm just like hugging him and crying, and because, man, look at what we've done. Like, look all these people enjoying, and oh man, is talking about
Oh,
everything of this, and this is specifically is I'm almost crying, but because I really feel that, and this moment is been one of the best moments of my life. This hug with Shuflis in the end of the tournament. I was like, I, I need to do this more and bring it to everyone I can. But but just when you see people that happy and enjoying this, it's like no words, man. It's just you just thrive.
yeah. Yeah. It's no words. I feel you. Damn, dude. That's hella deep. I'm like feeling all that right now too. And just realizing that that's what it's all about. Creating those memories and experiences because yeah we take those to the grave. We never forget about them. um we never forget about them. It's like that's like the true currency of the world, the memories that you have.
Hmm.
you know it's something that you will never lose.
Yep.
It's something that you gained in that moment, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never lose it. And that's like the most valuable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I mean you make a great example of that, of how you took the risk, dropped everything, said I'm gonna go on tour and I'm gonna inspire all these people and inspire people that are not even in the tournaments, in the tour, inspiring people from other countries. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what you did. Way more valuable than financial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If
Wow.
it was about financial, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So that speaks for itself. It means
That,
that speaks how much do you care and how much do you want to invest in the movement. So yeah, it's really great point and deep point to end the podcast, because we talked through a lot of things,
yeah.
and ending like that I think is very inspiring
Wow.
for the people, so people can understand also what makes a, a person want to invest and be willing to put that time into one thing for an event that you can lose money. When you create this moment, man, it pays off. It pays off, man. It pays off. And you say, in the future, next year, I will make an event that is more profitable. But it's more profitable. But man, this is what you want to create. You make money, great. But if you don't make this moment happen, if you need to make it. You need to make it happen. If not, this is the thing that for me is like the most key. Okay, so let's end the podcast here. So we can all keep thinking about what can we do for the community and for becoming and being a person in the shuffle who can create these moments to the people. I want you to say something to end the podcast, whatever you want to say. The mic is all yours. So before that, you will have everything in the description. Boomboxx, social media, whatever, the academia. If you want to find him, you want to talk to him, reach out to him, feel free. You have everything in the description. So right now, please close the podcast. The mic is all yours.
So much pressure. Go with the flow. Go with the flow and don't stop moving. Don't stop. If you're still right now, please get up and just go dance. That's all that matters. That's what you're doing right now. So stay in the flow. Stay in the flow.
You heard that. Stay in the flow. Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye.
Woo!
Baseline back around again.